Colshin. Eckelson.
Nucor is a great company. They care about their people. They care about the environment.
I've never been restricted to fall in a box. I've never been told that I can't do something.
I saw it as a great opportunity to develop a career.
You create your own destiny at Nucor.
We're building something bigger out here at Nucor. Come join us.
Nucor is a great company. They care about their people. They care about the environment.
I've never been restricted to fall in a box. I've never been told that I can't do something.
I saw it as a great opportunity to develop a career.
You create your own destiny at Nucor.
We're building something bigger out here at Nucor. Come join us.
Nucor is a great company. They care about their people. They care about the
Funny how defense always.
Good evening to you, and welcome here to Alumni Coliseum or Digger football here with Panisco and the lovely and talented Ron Haskett here in the booth, getting the 2023 season. Ron Haskett, how are you, brother?
Couldn't be better. It's a little hot for a football game, but I will say the leaves are falling in my yard, and the heater's on in the morning on the way to get my sweet baby her latte. So, yeah, fall is here.
Yeah.
Couldn't be more excited. Great group down at the tailgate. And really excited for this matchup here today.
We have a lot of fun in store for us. It is the Copper Game presented by Rocky Mountain Credit Union, and the Fighting Saints of Carroll College are in town. Montana Tech taking on the Saints here at Alumni Coliseum, Bob Green Field. This is the 127th meeting between the two programs. The first going back to October 2nd of 1920, and that one was played at the Columbia Gardens. Montana Tech, the School of Mines, beats Carroll College, who was St. Charles at the time. They got the win. 27-6 was the final in that very first ball game. And again, that was the first one going back to 1920. I went back and read the article in the Butte Miner from the day after, and I was praying that there was a picture, but there wasn't, unfortunately. But some of the language used in that just killed me. And so it was Coach Pitzer. Coach Pitzer was here for 2 years, I believe, at Montana Tech in 1920, and then he ended up being a head coach at Ohio State. Like 3 years after. So he had himself a pretty good leg up. But they were talking about how the Montana Tech team outweighed the Helena team by at least 10 pounds a man. And that was a big factor. And they kept talking about how big Tech was at 10 pounds a man. 2 players were ejected in that first game, both from the School of Mines. The umpire banished left guard Maloney in the second for rough work and profane language.
Imagine that, a name like Maloney
yeah, man, what a shocker that is.
Rough work.
Yeah. In the third quarter, fullback Stevens was ejected for kicking Weaver from St. Charles in the face. This is a quote from the paper, both instances were regrettable and displeased some of the fans.
I'm surprised that was a penalty back then.
Oh, I just love it. That's so good.
So there wasn't a lot of like RPO, slam, crush, none of that stuff?
No, I'm guessing not.
No tray trips.
127th meeting between the Ore Diggers and the Saints, and luckily we have been around for a lot of those, Haskey, and there's something different about this game. My wife kicked me out of the house this morning at like 7 o'clock. She's like, you have to leave. I'm like, why? She's like, your energy is driving me crazy. You have to go away. So I did at like 7 o'clock.
We had the same anxiety, and that's why I called you this morning, just to see if you had the same goosebumps that I did. Yeah, it is a big game, you know, and beyond everything else, we're talking about the 15th and 16th ranked teams in the country. So we should be in for a barn burner. I'm expecting a low-scoring game.
Okay,
I am.
I'm not. I think it's going to be harsh, but I think we're going to. And I think it's the other way. So, and you know better than I. So this is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I don't know how it's going to shake out. There's a few things, and we'll get into the keys to the game as we move on. But yeah, I mean, just going back, you know, I went and watched that game from last year. That second half of that game, let's be honest, it was awful. It was slow.
Yep.
There was a lot of stoppage of play, a few penalties. And it was windy, it was hot, and you remember the score at halftime was 19-10 Tech, and not only was it 19-10 Tech at the start of the fourth quarter, but it's almost like nothing happened during the third quarter.
Yep.
I mean, it was a couple yards forward, a few yards backwards, whether it be via penalty or loss or a fumbled snap.
Yep.
I mean, it was just it was awful football. You know, it really was, and you know, Tech held on. And beyond everything, I just go back to the great defensive game that Montana Tech played against Jack Perka and his offense last year.
That's a great point, and we'll certainly talk about that more as our night progresses. But again, thanks for joining us. It's time for the Copper Game presented by Rocky Mountain Credit Union here with Digger Athletics. I had a chance yesterday to sit down with head coach Kyle Sampson and talk to him and get ready for his pregame, if you will. We'll check in with head coach Kyle Sampson. We're here with Digger Vision, ladies and gentlemen, on a gorgeous, beautiful night here in the Mining City, the 127th meeting between Montana Tech and Carroll College. We'll check in with Coach Kyle Sampson right after this.
Now's the time to get into Butte Auto and custom build your own ride just the way you want it. Choose from 9 brands and compare them all at one location. Don't wait. Take advantage of our VIP appointment or stay where you are and shop easily from ButteAuto.com. At Butte Auto, we believe in exceptional service and an easy buying process. Easy buying process. Contact one of our 4 dealerships and custom build your next ride at Butte Auto today.
to the game.
Hey, welcome back here once again as we are on the campus of Montana Tech, Alumni Coliseum. Paul Panisco, Ron Haskett, the 127th meeting between the Saints and the Orediggers here, and we're getting ready for what should just be a fantastic night. We've got the starters on the big board, so let's go ahead and take a look at those. Haskett, we have both sets of starters. You had the Carroll guys out in front of you earlier. Should we take a rundown of those Carroll starters? You have those there?
I got them.
Well, run through them. Let's go from there.
Yeah, offensively, you're going to see Jack Perka. He's a 6'1", 195-pound junior. He's a true junior. He played as a true freshman or was active as a true freshman. Then at running back, you got Duncan Kraft. Then they list 3 wideouts as starters: Jaden Harrison, Cameron Rothy, and Chris Akolshin. Pardon if I mispronounce that. Tight end, Carson Ochoa. And left tackle, Hunter Metcham. Left guard, Connor Quick. Center, Jaden Lamb. Right guard, Sebastian Koch. And the right tackle, Timothy Sellers. The special team starters, the place kicker, Spencer Berger. Punters, Spencer Berger. Holder, Jaden Harrison. Long snapper, Antonio Basterachia. Kick returner, Cullen Stoddard. And punt returner, Cameron Rothy. Defensively, what they call their rock, and I don't know what that is. I think it's
like a strong side defensive end.
Well,
maybe?
yeah, they list their defensive front here first. I think is Jacob Resch, D tackle Garrett Warden, big load 6'4", 260-pounder. Nose tackle Jake Walk, 6'3", 270. Defensive end Hunter Peck, and 6'2", 245. And I know he's big because my daughter had to sit behind him last year in theology. And she said she couldn't see nothing. She called him the eclipse.
I was going to say that was to her benefit. She slept in class anyway.
Yes. And then their stud linebacker, Cameron Pruitt, a 5'11", 200-pound redshirt junior. Ben Held at middle, 5'11", 220. And their MAC linebacker, Tucker Jones, 6 foot, 225 pounds. Quarterback, this secondary is going to be young, and they're going to get tested today. Quarterback right down the road here from Dillon, Daxon Graham. 5'11", 180-pounder. They must have weighed him in his uniform. Of course, I'm good friends with the Graham family. Daxon's dad played quarterback up here at Montana Tech and is a good friend and known him a lot of years. Free safety, Caden Gardner, 5'11", 175-pounder. Strong safety, Tug Smith, 5'11", 180. And the other quarterback, Elijah Larson, a 5'11", 200-pound red shirt sophomore. So there's your Carroll starters.
Okay.
And they are going to be young and tested in the secondary.
Well, let's flip the coin, and we'll start things off here for Montana Tech and their starters here in this ball game. We'll start things off offensively. At quarterback, once again, is going to be Blake Thielen, the redshirt junior out of Great Falls, coming off a tremendous year a year ago, through about 53% for 1,375 yards. He had 86 completions on 161 attempts. He threw 12 touchdowns, averaged 172 passing yards a game. And Blake Thielen calling the shots. Cade Wyatt behind him at quarterback. Blake Counts, the senior out of Kalispell, is your running back here today. I expect big things for Counts this year. I think this is going to be a really solid year. He has had a tremendous career, and I would love to have him have that year where he just breaks out.
They're pretty excited about this offensive front.
Yes.
And they do have new blood in there. But I look at a guy who I was really impressed with last year when they got in some mop-up duty as a true freshman, Jamie Michelotti.
Yep.
You know, grandparents, local products,
and he
parents,
starts.
A local product. He's starting at left tackle.
Yep.
That'll, it's nice to guess right on a guy. But I just loved his game. I loved his athleticism. Jamie Michelotti played it all. He's an offensive front guy here at Montana Tech, but he could play anything. He was a hell of a basketball player, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to see him grow into that position, grow up, I tell you what, you want to talk about an outlier at the Michelotti family dinner. Jamie Michelotti sticks out.
Yeah, a little bit. Other starters on the offensive side for Montana Tech, you're looking at Lander Smith. I'm going to list him because he's a fullback and because he's going to have a big factor in this. I'm not just doing it for Josh Vincent's sake. because I don't think Josh is listening to this currently anyway. But at fullback, Landers Smith is going to be a big factor. We're going to see him in two backs. We'll see him line up in the eye as well. Landers is going to have himself a ball game here today. Logan Kennedy at tight end, a guy that we're fans of, the redshirt junior out of Laurel. Expect the ball to go his way quite a bit this year. Your receiving core, Levi Torgerson, stepping in where his brother goes out with an injury. Levi Torgerson. I'm going to talk about this later. I sat down and talked to Coach Adam Hyatt the other day and asked him how it was approached, because Levi Torgerson is a basketball player. He came to Montana Tech as a basketball player, did not want to play football until his brother went down, and then they kind of went, well, we need you. And the coaching staff came and talked to him, and Adam Hyatt was great with it. But Levi Torgerson, who, in my opinion, and I'm sorry to the other brothers, I still think had the best hands out of the three of them. And that's saying something.
But with the Torgerson family, of course, I coached their dad. My first assignment here at Montana Tech in the fall of 1980 or 91 and 92, I had Brian as one of my receivers. Brian's a Shelby kid. I've known their dad since he could walk, right? Those three boys of his, you talk about basketball players, all three of them were 4-year varsity players at Great Falls High. Yep. They could all do it all. They could play all the sports.
Yeah, they were all conference, all state guys, and it just athletes.
Somewhat interchangeable. Levi looks a lot like his older brother Kyle on 100%. The football field. Yep.
100%. So Levi Torgerson will be in the slot out of Great Falls. He's a redshirt sophomore. Clay Fisher will see a little time in that slot as well. Jordan Jackson going to be the wideout. He wears number 7, the sophomore. Then you're looking at Wyatt Alexander out of Whitehall. Watch out for Wyatt Alexander this year. He's seen playing time the last couple of years. This is his year. The other one to watch out for is a young man by the name of Dylan Snyder. Dylan Snyder transferred over from MSU. I think he's going to make a splash quick, and it's his birthday. So Dylan Snyder, happy birthday.
Well, you don't have to say any more. I came up and watched practice the other day and sat with Estes and Torgerson and watched the practice, asked questions about a lot of the players. And so they were talking about Dylan Snyder, and I asked, what's his status? They said, he's going to play, right?
Yep.
And so I wasn't surprised. But when I informed those guys that he was a rush end on Butte High's defense, they both just kind of looked at me like I was smoking dope. They did. And I said, no, he is physical.
Yep.
He's big. He can move. Runs great routes, and he's got a great set of hands. So I'm looking forward to see what Dylan Snyder brings to this program.
The O fronts, you're looking at Steve Benyamia, a redshirt junior out of Indiana. You have Carson Schumann, a senior out of Helena High School. Max Anderson, a junior from Kalispell. Down to the trenches as well, Brandon Spencer out of Lolo. He's a redshirt junior. And then Jamie Michelotti, the 6'3", 280-pound redshirt freshman out of Helena High School. Your starting fronts. This starting front, and I don't think it's something you can say often, especially I don't think any football program would ever say it very often, but they're deep. I mean, this Montana Tech team, Danny Thatcher has recruited so hard in the offensive front, and they have a lot of bodies, and they're going to run a lot of guys through that offensive front. We're going to see a lot of bodies go through there as this ball game goes.
When you hear me talk about position coaching, that's what I'm describing. When it comes to senior day and having those guys in your meetings all the time. Danny Thatcher is into his boys.
Yeah,
he's all over social media with them, but he does a great job leading them, inspiring them, and they do no harm in his eyes, and that is the way to go about it.
That's it. On the other side, let's run through the defensive side. We get sidetracked real easy, Heskey. Defensively, let's start things off in the trenches. Devin Zinn, a senior out of Bakersfield, California, a transfer coming in. He will start in the defensive front. J.P. Fitzpatrick, a redshirt junior out of Anchorage, Alaska, also down there. And Gabe Zanetti, Big Gabe out of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, the best hair on the team. And that's just all there is to it. He has been an anchor down there for several years. Zanetti has been a force inside for Montana Tech. Linebacking core, another transfer in, Major Nickum. Nickum, a 6-foot senior out of Yuba City, California. He played, is it Indiana Wesleyan? And I should know that better than I do currently. But Nickum, the football program shut down. So Nickum is an All-American, and he transferred here to Montana Tech. So Nickum is going to be a factor here for Montana Tech. Tel Arthur, the sophomore out of Missoula, going to be starting here today, and Cole Wyatt also starting. This linebacking core going to be solid.
Frenchtown.
Okay.
Tell Arthur.
Let me make sure. They've got him listed in Missoula.
They might say Missoula, but he was at Frenchtown. I watched him play hoops. Speaking of good athletes, go ahead.
Jaden Downs, a defensive back. Also out there is Cade Wilcox, Jaden McNeil, and Angel Sanchez III. You know, Angel is going to anchor that secondary. He's a tremendous athlete, great ball hawk. The other guys, Jaden Downs, Cade Wilcox, and Jaden McNeil. You might remember Jaden McNeil started at quarterback. He was on the other side of the ball. He's now in the secondary. A lot of these guys have playing time, but now they're really getting the starts and getting after it.
Right. McNeil was a return guy and an offensive side of the ball guy.
Yep.
And now he's on the defense, and that will give him some advantages. He's an athlete, right? He's
big time.
He's athletic. He's seen both sides of the ball, so they should feel real comfortable with Jaden back there in that secondary.
Well, again, thanks for joining us here, Montana Tech Athletics. We're here with Digger Vision. We have a packed house. People kind of streaming into the stadium. Kind of. The tailgates, I see a lot of barbecue smoke, and that's where we should be, is over there still, Haskett. I'm not going to lie.
I think we got room for most, but not all.
No, I don't think so. We're going to have a packed house here tonight. Thanks for joining us on Digger Vision. Ron Haskett, Paul Panisco. It's the Rocky Mountain Credit Union Copper game. We'll take a quick break. We're back here to Alumni after this.
Nucor is a great company. They care about their people. They care about the environment.
I've never been restricted to fall in a box. I've never been told that I can't do something.
I saw it as a great opportunity to develop a career.
You create your own destiny at Nucor.
We're building something bigger out here at Nucor. Come join us.
Trident 5550, the Case IH Combination Application System Solution. A couple of key points for model year 2024 are going to be the addition of a 135-foot spray boom for that enhanced productivity, and then AIM Command Flex 2, the ultimate in advanced spray technology, individual on-off nozzle control, a host of other features, making the most of your product application. To learn more, visit your Case IH distributor or caseih.com.
This is Digger Vision.
Hey, welcome back here once again to the campus of Montana Tech Alumni Coliseum as Eddie Kelly running around the booth as only Eddie Kelly can. And I assume, I mean, I can't even, this is, obviously he didn't pay to get in here.
No way.
That's just the way it is.
Nor should he.
Found the back. Yeah, well, that's a good point. That's a fine point. The 127th meeting, Montana Tech and Carroll College getting ready to roll here this evening. As we take a look through here, let's talk about the Ron Haskett keys to the game. As we get this stream rolling, let's start things off for Montana Tech. Ron Haskett, what do you look at for the keys to the game for Montana Tech here tonight?
Well, I think this one's pretty obvious, but you know, for Montana Tech, you guys, anybody that's listened has heard me say this ad nauseum, but first down success. And when I say first down success, I'm not talking about first down, making a play at 10 yards or more and moving the chains. Just getting offensive movement. You know, they struggled last year to move the ball against Carroll. Mm-hmm. You know, Carroll's always sound in the defensive front. They're always sound at linebacker. Montana Tech likes to run the football. But, you know, between, you know, like penalties or tackles for loss, I mean, first down success is huge. Then, you know, I touched on it there for a second. Just limit their penalties. They had some timely, awful penalties in last year's game that kind of thwarted drives. And then they, they're going to be tasked with having to trust some new blood, right? Younger Torgerson, Levi is going to be at the inside slot. Kyle's on the sidelines, at least probably for another month or two. And they're also missing Estes there at wideout, so you got Wyatt Alexander. I wouldn't call him new blood, but you're going to have a lot of new blood in the game. Dylan Snyder, Clay Fisher.
Yep.
You got to trust those guys. And, that's what I see out of Montana Tech offensively. Defensively for Tech, I think it's, I think they return one starting linebacker. So it's going to be a lot of know your assignment. And don't try and do too much. If you're a veteran out there, you still have to do your job on defense. That's the number one rule of defense. Do your job. And I think it's going to be paramount on both sides of the ball for Carroll and Tech. They both like to bring some pressure packages, don't get me wrong, but it is adamant to try and be able to get pressure with 4. They're both odd surfaces, but they always bring a 4th.
Yep.
Regardless. Very rarely do you see a 3 or a 2-man rush out of either team. So if you're able to get pressure and get that quarterback, in passing situations to release that ball within about 2 seconds, you're going to be successful. And then, for Tech, linebacker play. I mentioned they've got one returning linebacker. They're going to have a little bit of diaper rash there at linebacker in that underneath coverage. That's what I see out of Montana Tech. They're going to really have to be grading, engaging linebacker play.
Okay.
For Carroll, defensively, they're starting some young blood at cornerback. So I would say protect them a little bit early in the game. Protect them, play a cover 2, let them press and jam, cover them with your safeties, get a little bit of bracket coverage until they get comfortable. Carroll, of course, last year they had great success pressuring Montana Tech with four rushers. Yeah. And if they can do that today, that will really take Thielen out of his comfort zone, because Jet Campbell used to try and run around. He used to try and escape. I used to say, you got to get planted and step up. Well, Thielen's a little less apt to try and outrun a defensive end.
Yeah.
So pressure with 4. And then Carroll, like last year, they mixed up their front a lot. They went a lot of TNT, where they cover the center and the 2 guards and bring pressure packages behind that. But they also went some 4-man surface. They'll stand them all up and bring them up. And what me and Doug Abbott used to call a Mau defense, just a ton of bodies up there in a 2-point stance, confusing that offensive front. So, that's where I see it. And then Carroll's offense, I have here, they have to run to pass. They like to do a lot of play action. Play action's great. I'm a big play action guy, big fan of it. I used to love it. But if you're not successful running the football, it's pointless. And it puts your back, who is paramount in pass protection, it puts him at a little bit of a disadvantage when he's got to do a play fake and then pick up a linebacker, an outside blitz or an inside blitz.
Yep.
And so it puts them at a little bit of a disadvantage. So they have to run the ball successfully to throw it. And, I think, Carroll, if you mix in the fact that Montana Tech's young at linebacker, Carroll's got to keep their tight end involved in the offense.
Yeah.
I think they have to do that for kind of a security blanket for Perka there at quarterback.
Well, as we continue to get ready for this one, the 127th meeting between Montana Tech and Carroll College. The last time they played a year ago, Montana Tech got the win 26-10. Carroll won 3 straight before that in 18, 19, and in 21. And then the 3 before that, Montana Tech won in succession. The Digs won the lone time they played in 2016. They won both times in 2017. Tech has won 6 of the last 10. And that's where we stand coming into this ball game. Again, the 127th meeting. The Digs getting ready to roll the Copper game, as you see, wearing the Copper jerseys with the white pants. Carroll College wearing the white with the gold and the absolutely invisible numbers. Yeah. Is it our age, or is it the gold numbers on the white jerseys?
It's just tough. I mean, it's just tough to see those. I've got my glasses. I got correction on. I still can't see the numbers really well. So we'll have to rely on their 2 deeps, which is fine. Yep. We can make an educated guess.
Just a gorgeous night here in the Mining City. And as always, thanks for joining us with Montana Tech Athletics on the stream. Digger Vision with Ron Haskett, Paul Panisco, And we are getting ready for a great night. There's a lot of things that are a little different out here before this ball game. We're going to talk about it as we go. We have the Torgerson party going on, the Torgerson tailgate, which is in our north end zone. They have a shindig going on over there, man. They have a lot of people. They've got some tents up. They're going to have a good time all night. We have, they're our new sponsors for our red zones. When the Digs are in the red zone, we're going to talk about them as we go. And the other one we're going to talk about as the night goes that really gets me excited as well is Dig City. You know, John Wick and company at Dig City in 5518, one of my favorite people in the world. They are our official online retailer for Montana Tech Athletics. And if we've got some fun stuff. If the Digs offensively go off, if they score 48 points in any of their games this year, John Wick is going to give you 40% off Montana Tech apparel at Dig City for 36 hours.
Well, that's good to know.
That's awesome.
Because I need some new apparel.
I'm telling you. So if this is a big deal. So I think most people like offense anyway. I could be wrong. But this is, if that's the case, you really want this offense to explode all season long and get that 40% off, and we'll discuss that as the season goes. So as we get ready to roll here, we're going to get our next anthem here. It looks like we have the crew. There's still a lot of people in the tailgate that are not come this direction. A whole lot of people. So we're going to get our national anthem. With that, we will pause as well. Or Digger here on Digger Vision. We're back in just a few. Performed by the pep band here at Montana Tech. It is hot. The sun beating down on us. We'll deal with the sun here for a few more hours as the Digs taking on the Saints here at Alumni Coliseum. Our tailgate is so good. I mean, you think about, you know, Eric Jacobson is going to join us later on in the broadcast. We're going to talk to Jacobson here as this broadcast goes. Hello, brother. And you know, I really look forward to talking with him. He's a guy I really enjoy, Hall of Famer. You know, we like to be around those Hall of Fame guys, makes us look good. But, you know, Jacobson, you think about when you played and when you coached and the idea of having what these guys enjoy now with the tailgates and everything that goes along with it. The game here at Montana Tech has evolved drastically over the last 30, 20, 10, and even the last 5 years.
Chris Anderson was a great wide receiver here. Just as I was finishing my coaching career at Montana Tech, he's here to support his wife, Hall of Famer Colette Phillips, who's in the Hall of Fame at Montana Tech for volleyball.
Yes, indeed.
And her in Great West Engineering. They got a tent back there. And so I was talking to Chris in the tailgate, and he's dumbfounded, right? The excitement, the tailgate. And they got to see a dose of it back in the early to mid 2000s. Mm-hmm. Just a dose of, I think they maybe started that stuff in the tiers a little bit.
Yep.
You know, but it's turned into such an event. And, you know, hats off to just Butte, Montana. There's so many people in that tailgate that never really had any allegiance to Tech, right?
Yeah.
But they're all over that tailgate. They support it. They support this team. And this school, this institution, they know it's a great economic impact for all these businesses. You know, I think of like the Knights Columbus and a few of those. All those guys are here.
Yeah.
And they're just into it. You know, they're wearing the colors, everything, and it's fantastic.
And we're going to discuss that as the night goes, but we just had our coin flip. The ball was delivered by Montana Secretary of State Christine Jacobson. Jacobson is Montana's 22nd Secretary of State, won the election by the largest margin of any candidate on the ballot in 2020. She was born and raised in Helena, where she and her husband, Eric, have raised their family.
And Eric, I don't want to interrupt you, but Eric's wearing his colors, Montana Tech, and Christy's
exactly.
Helena.
I was just going there. She
Helena,
is a Carroll grad.
She's got Saints gear on.
Yeah, she got her master's from the University of Montana, and the other side of that is her husband, Eric Jacobson, who had the coin flip. Helena native. He is a Montana Tech Hall of Famer, and we look forward to talking to him here as the night progresses.
He was a bad dude. He was a bad dude. So Eric was a true freshman. He was a scout team quarterback my last year at Montana Tech. So he used to have to face our starting secondary and scout team. He's the most competitive. I used to think that Paul Petrino, shout out to a Carroll alum. Paul Petrino's one of the greatest, if not the greatest competitor that I ever competed against.
Okay.
And Jake was every bit, if not more competitive than Petrino. And I tell you what, he used to get fired up, and it was just fun, and we became the best of friends.
So we are ready to roll here. Again, we are going to talk to Eric Jacobson as the night goes. He'll join us in the third quarter. We're actually going to talk to Tom Bandy at halftime. We're going to get you ready for day one. There's a lot of great stuff on the horizon. And as always, thanks for joining us here on the stream. We're with Digger Vision as Ron Haskett, Paul Panisco. Our 18th year together. 2005 was the first year. I remember, was it 4? I thought it was 5. I'm never going to get this right, am I? I thought Sol was born. She wasn't born yet? Okay. That was 2004 was our first year. So I am wrong, Haskett. You don't have to show me the fingers.
I'm assuming it was 2004 because I coached in 2002.
I thought Shannon was pregnant.
I had nothing to do with it in 2003. And then I had a few too many whiskeys in the Voo Villa the summer of 2004, and I told your wife, Shannon, tell Paul if he needs a wingman up there to give me a call.
But then we ran into each other at the line at Dairy Queen, and you had Delaney on your shoulders, and I want to say that I was there getting my pregnant wife something from DQ. It wasn't the fact that I was just fat and wanted DQ myself. The kickoffs, the return starts at the 10-yard line across the 20, big hit delivered at the 23-yard line. And that's where the Saints will get this season underway. As with the return that time for the Saints is number 16. And it looks like Braden Orlandi, a freshman out of California. And the Saints will start things off.
Not listed as a 1 or a 2 deep at kick returner.
Okay. the games they play.
Well, we were sharing a laugh. You know, when you exchange as a coaching staff, your depth chart or your ones and twos, how much BS there is there.
So much smoke and mirrors. There we go. So Carroll College, Perka will get him started. Jack Perka, a junior out of Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, will get the start. 1 back, 3 receiver spread. Montana Tech going to bring pressure from the edge. Perka drop back. He steps up in the pocket. He's flushed, stays square, airs it up downfield, and lost the fingertips on that one. Overthrows his intended target. Going to bring up 2nd and 10 on the incompletion.
Yeah, he had a Colshan wide open right in front of the sidelines of Carroll College, and he lost that ball on the release. A great speed rush that time. I didn't catch the Montana Tech defender off the right edge, but it made Perka uncomfortable. But credit Perka. He stepped up, attacked the line of scrimmage, moved laterally, got himself in good shape to release the football, but the ball left his hands.
I think Whitcomb on the far outside that time got the pressure. 2nd down and 10. Perka out of the shotgun again. 1 back, steps up, right off his hip. Pressure coming. Handoff going to go to the tailback across the 25, hit hard at the 28-yard line. And that's going to be a pickup of 5 on the first carry of the day for the Saints.
That's Duncan Kraft. He had a nice job up front, just zone off the right side. Kraft was patient, waited for blocking, and picked up pretty good yardage there on 2nd down.
Crafts last year had 100 carries on the nose, 471 yards, a pair of touchdowns. The other back we'll see today is Baxtel Tuckle, as Tuggle had 42 carries, 160 yards. As they graduated one of their backfield. Carroll didn't graduate much, and we've certainly talked about Tech offensively. Didn't graduate much there either. 3rd down and 4. We'll see if the Digger D can get him off the field.
2 backs, probably expecting pressure here.
Man in motion across the formation. And Perka wants a timeout.
Not going to get it. You know, he had 2 backs in the backfield. I think they're expecting some pressure out of Montana Tech. They ran a Colshan across the set. A lot of times people do that. Do they have a man assignment? If they got a man assignment, it usually means pressure. Tech just floated, stayed in their zones. Perka didn't like the play call. Good timeout.
Well, we're going to talk about this Digger D as the evening progresses, but we have ourselves a timeout. And look, our commish is prowling. We have our commissioner on hand. We're going to try and get Paulson up here too. It's Commish Paulson's last day on the job.
Oh, I was going to say, I thought he was done.
It is his final day. So we're going to try and talk to him tonight as well. Diggers, we have a timeout on the field. Let's take one as well. Digger Vision, Ron Haskett, Paul Panisco. We're back here to Alumni right after this.
Dude, Hudson, your new man cave is sweet.
Come watch the game.
Dude, they're gonna score.
Hey, welcome back here once again to the campus of Montana Tech Alumni Coliseum. After the break, we have a flag down as Carroll College had a complete pass.
They had a caution on a drag route and picked him up for the first down. There was a flag on the play. It looks like it's against the defense. I haven't seen. Did you see the call? Was it roughing the passer?
No, I did not.
Maybe?
I was watching our upper official here.
Yeah, it must be roughing the passer. Some kind of personal foul because he just stepped off every bit of 15 yards.
So that will give the Saints awfully good field position here on their first possession at the Montana Tech 48-yard line. Perka, a year ago, 59% of his passes, 2,087 yards. He had 174 completions, 15 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Perka, 2 backs, 3 receivers. Tech, 3 up. Showing pressure from up top. They bring pressure. And the run through the gap across the 40, cut back to the 35, and shoved out of bounds at the 30. That's going to be a gain of 18, just shy of that. So a nice run again here by the Saints.
Good job up front by Carroll. That was just inside zone. And Kraft was patient, waited for the blocks to happen, found his cut up and out, and big gain of, I don't know, 5, 10, 15 yards.
So the Saints back up to the line of scrimmage, first down and 10. Ball at the 32-yard line of the Digs. One back, two receivers. Perka hands it off, keeps it himself. Stiff arm, and he's going nowhere. Taken down at the 31-yard line. Maybe a gain of 1, and there for the stop for the Digs is going to be Cole Wyant, your junior out of Rockland.
Great job.
A big one.
Great job in open field by Wyant. You know, and that's one thing I said about Perka last year. I'm going to go back and say I thought they would run him more, and they hadn't run him. You know, I watched games. Or I watched a game they played against Montana Tech, but I did also see a couple other Carroll games last year.
Yep.
And they didn't run him near as much as I thought they would.
Man in motion as the Saints up to the line of scrimmage. Second down and 9. 3 receivers, 2 left, 1 right. Montana Tech will rush 4. Can they get pressure? They do get pressure. Perka, late blitz up the middle. He gets away. Across the 30, slides, and a big hit. Is it going to be a late hit?
Nope.
And that's not the case. So that will be a gain of 2 for Perka.
McNeil just came up, put his pads into him as he was sliding down. Yeah, pretty good job of escaping by Perka that time. Pretty quick pressure out of Montana Tech.
And so that brings up another third down here. Ball at the Montana Tech 28-yard line. If you were to kick a field goal here, you're at about 45 yards. And up is Perka. 2 receivers. Check that. 3 to his left, 1 to the right. Perka, 3-step drop. In the pocket, airs it up, crossing route complete across the 20, 15, 10, cut back down near the 5, and shoved out of bounds at the 4. So far beyond first down yardage, they will get all the way down to the 4-yard line.
Not the exact same action, but the common denominator there was a Colshin coming on a crossing route from across the field. Montana Tech's got to, learn to recognize that and eliminate that crossing route. Carroll and crossing routes goes back to the Mike Van Diest era. As far as I see things, looking up here, if they get the time, to cross the field, you need about 2.5 seconds, but they hit it a lot.
First down and goal from the 4. I formation, Perka under center, 1 lone receiver far right. Perka going to hand it off to his tailback, trying to find the edge and cut down to the 3-yard line. Duncan Kraft with the carry. And he is cut down at the line of scrimmage, stretches forward for a gain of 1.
Yeah, good job. Inside-out play by inside linebacker. The only returning starter at linebacker, Cade Wyant, getting down the line of scrimmage and tripping that back up.
That'll bring up 2nd and goal. So 2nd and goal here for the Saints, up to the line of scrimmage. Ball at the 3-yard line of Montana Tech. The opening possession here of the 2023 season. I formation. Under center, Perka going to hand it off directly straight ahead this time. Fighting towards the goal line is Kraft, and it looks like he is going to be shy. Boy, it looked like he got through the first level, and the linebackers collapsed on him as we take a peek at the instant replay here. And just a big collision at the line of scrimmage. They held him out 3rd and goal from about the foot line.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a number here. It looked like Zinn met him right there, just inside the goal line and didn't give an inch after contact.
So back up to the line of scrimmage, same formation. I formation, tight end on each side. The deep back gets the ball, bounces left, and he is going to stroll in as he gets out on the edge, and the Saints will get on the board first. Carroll College leading 6-0 over Montana Tech. 9:58 left to play here in the opening quarter.
That better not be Jumbo beating on that wall.
It would have come through the wall if that were the case.
As I mentioned, former Carroll defensive coordinator from way back in the day, Rick Jumbo Wells, is back on the staff here at Carroll. He's coaching linebackers and had a nice visit with Jumbo before the game. It's good to see him. He's doing great and happy he's back in the coaching game.
We have a packed house here as we await the snap. A little low. They're able to dig it out. The PAT is up and through as it sails over hollowed ground. So 5 minutes into this one, the Saints get on the board first, 7-0. Carroll College up over Montana Tech here, the opening possession of the 2023 season. And as we said, we have a lot on the agenda here as the night goes. We're going to talk to Hall of Famer Eric Jacobson in the 3rd quarter. We're going to talk about Montana Tech's Day 1, which is coming up next week, and always a huge event for Montana Tech. And then we're going to talk to Tom Bandy. It's the first time I've been able to talk to Tom Bandy in so long, as the Digs won the Bandy Award for the first time in 30 years. Jacobson was part of that last time, and that's a big deal. So I really look forward to talking to Mr. Tom Bandy. I'm going to try and get Commissioner Paulson up here. I love that guy.
We're going to have a full house.
We are. This is awesome. If the game gets over, we're just going to have a whole bunch of people to talk to afterwards. So hopefully people will stick around. That means you, Tucker. If you're watching on the stream, make sure to chime in with Haskett or I. Certainly love to know who's out there with us in the realm of the Digs. So Carroll gets on the board first. And the Saints will kick it away, and we'll see our first offensive possession out of Montana Tech. So the Saints score on their opening possession. And the kick is away. End over end. Dropping back, Torgerson out there at the goal line to bring it across, out in front of his family. Across the 20, 25, Torgerson cuts it out, and he'll be hauled down at the 18-yard line.
Good way to get your ears wet. If you're Levi Torgerson, return a kick, saw a little daylight, nice return out, from right at the goal line, out close to the 30-yard line. But, that's, it's kind of like making that first catch or taking that first hit. That'll knock the fog off for Levi, and I expect him to settle into the game real quick here.
Boy, I'll tell you, I like I said, I talked to Coach Adam Hyatt earlier in the week and asked him how that question was posed, because Levi has been on the basketball team now for 2 years, and coming over to play football was not an easy ask. So out of the shotgun is going to be Thielen. Tight end in motion. Real tight formation. Now receiver goes across the formation. That's Wyatt Alexander. Handoff going to go to the tailback. And Blake gets the carry. Blake across the line of scrimmage again 1. So Blake counts his first carry of the day. Counts last year ran for 803 yards and 6 touchdowns on 147 carries. Extremely consistent for Blake Counts through the years. In 2021, he ran for 751 yards. In 2019, before COVID, he ran for 779 yards. And, just had an outstanding season again a year ago.
A lot of shifting that time by Montana Tech's offense. Not a lot of shifting defensively for Carroll College. Tells me they were in a base set in zone coverage.
2nd down and 9 here. Pass out on the edge, and that one's going to go by Wyatt Alexander, incomplete.
Yeah, a little communication error. Thielen, I think, wanted Wyatt to hook up there at about, 6, 7, 8 yard mark downfield. Wyatt took it another step or 2 deeper. And that was one thing I learned from watching practice the other night is these Montana Tech receivers have to do a lot of reading on the go.
Yeah.
Reading zone, reading man, and reading where to run their choice or option routes.
3rd down and 9 for Thielen. Counts in the backfield. 2 receivers to his right, 1 to the left. Carroll College puts a bunch of guys on the line of scrimmage. 6 now showing 7. They'll bring 4. Thielen drops back. Airs it up, pass complete across midfield, hit and down. That's going to be Jordan Jackson. Jackson, the junior, out of Georgia with a huge reception. And that's going to be 1st down yardage to the Carroll College 48-yard line.
Jordan on the deep in route that time, and a great clear by Logan Kennedy. You can rely on clears from your tight ends, but Kennedy got off the ball and got that safety out of there for Jordan Jackson to come in and replace on the in route. A great job by Logan Kennedy of clearing the safety.
1st down and 10 here for the Digs on the opposite side of the field. Man in motion is our tight end, Logan Kennedy. Handoff, play action. They're going to swing it out. Torgerson bobbled it, and he'll continue out across the 40-yard line.
That should be an incomplete pass. That ball was thrown forward. And Torgerson, that ball hit the turf, didn't it?
Yeah, I thought it bounced up, and maybe it was a show of the shadow, but it looked like it hit the turf and came right back up to him.
They could be looking at it as a lateral that he can drop, but nonetheless, the
gain of 6.
Markers move for a gain of 6. Gain of 6.
And the other sideline isn't worked up about it, so we saw something different up here. 2nd down and 4, 1 back, and the snap goes by Thielen. He gets it, and he'll fall down. Tried to turn the corner and lost his cleats. So that will come back to the 45-yard line. Going to be a loss of 7. So a little hole to dig out of here.
Talk about the keys to the game. That's the one. Those kind of things. 1st down success. They get a big 1st down, and they trip all over themselves. A bad snap, a low snap. They at least get the ball thrown away. And lost his cleats there. Now you're looking at 2nd and forever.
So they have 3rd and 17 on the ball just at the 45-yard line. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Thielen out of the shotgun with Counts in the backfield. Carroll will pressure 3. Thielen steps up, and Thielen rifles, looking for Logan Kennedy. That one goes over his head, incomplete. And that'll bring up 4th down here for the Digs. So they move the chains, but are unable to get points in their first opening possession. And they will look to punt it away here to the Saints of Carroll College.
Yeah, you saw some things offensively that you like there, but, and you can blame it on the early season all you want, but everybody's allowed the same amount of practices. You know, you always look into polish offenses. These guys can't do 2-a-days anymore. They can't do 3-a-days anymore. And so you got to get a lot of stuff in a short amount of time.
Andrew Olmos, the redshirt sophomore punter, 1st team all-conference a year ago. He steadies and booms it. Tight spiral, nose down. Return starts at the 10-yard line going left across the 15, 20, and out of bounds at the 21-yard line. And that's one of those, Coach and I talked about, when we had a chance to chat, is the idea of returning, 1st team all-conference punter and place kicker. Those are great weapons to bring back into the fold for another season.
Timeout.
I was going to touch on that in the pregame a little bit.
Why don't we get into it here in a minute? It looks like we've got a timeout, so we'll take one. We'll take one as well. 7-0, Carroll up over Tech. Montana Tech, Digger Vision. We're back after this.
It's important for Butte Auto to partner with community partners such as Montana Tech Athletics because of the commonalities of goals that we have for the Butte community. With Tech Athletics, we look at it as a way to not only provide great things for the community, whether that's attending football games, volleyball games, basketball games. It also helps Tech Athletics to have further outreach, to bring in more athletes, more students, and really add to the diversity of Butte. Butte Auto and Montana Tech Athletics. We're going to do great things together.
This is Digger Vision.
Hey, welcome back here once again to the campus of Montana Tech, Carroll College. As up the middle across the 20 out to the 24-yard line. So a gain of 4 on the ground. For the Saints right now, as we take a peek here for Carroll College, Perka is 1 of 2 for 25 yards. Kraft 5 carries for 26 yards. And it looks like we were kind of talking about it in the pregame. Carroll has a lot of double numbers, and they've got the linebacker in Tucker Jones listed in the offensive side. So we'll keep track of that here as Perka at quarterback. 1 back, 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Perka, 3-step drop, looking right. Pass through the middle, and that one's going to go incomplete. Good coverage that time downfield as Sanchez was on him defensively.
That's former Butte Central graduate Luke Jensen on the in route that time. Well thrown ball that time by Perka. Jensen will tell you he should have caught that ball. It was a little high and it was hot, but receivers like that. You know, that's a good quick one to you. You know, one that doesn't hang you out to dry. And Jensen would want that ball back.
3rd down and 5 here for the Saints.
I played with Luke's dad here at Montana Tech.
All right.
Back in 1985, Paul.
Before the world went to color. So the Saints up to the line of scrimmage. Perka will bring the crew up. 1 back, 3 receivers. Montana Tech shows 3 on the defensive fronts. They'll pressure 3. Perka has time. He's going to drop it off to his tailback out of the backfield across the 30 out to the 33, and I think that's 1st down yardage. It is. So he hits his back out of the backfield.
3. They got 8 in coverage. They all sank. Good job of the Carroll offensive front protecting Perka to where he could look, and then just check down, you know, because as you're covering in the secondary, your instinct is to continually back up, right? And, yeah, he took advantage of soft coverage that time, went to his back for the 1st down.
And Routhie with the catch, and that'll bring up 1st and 10 here for the Saints. Carroll College doing a nice job moving the chains so far here in the 1st half. Handoff going to go to the tailback. Crafts will push the pile, still on his feet, 35 to the 36. It's going to be a gain of 4 on 1st down.
Yeah, Tech brought a little bit of pressure that time. They walked up an outside linebacker and brought him from the backside, but a good read by Perka. He's going to read that. He's going to either hand it or take it, and good read by Jack Perka to pick up, you know, positive yards. You got to feel good, especially after last season against Montana Tech. You got to feel great with 4 yards on 1st down.
Yeah, Kraft right now 6 carries, 31 yards, 1 back at home, 3 receivers.
We figured, I watched that cast again, we figured Carroll had negative yards last year in the 2nd half.
Yeah. Perka, long snap count, gets it, handoff to the tailback, and he'll get a yard leaning forward. Not much there, the Digger defensive front doing a nice job closing down those holes, and Wyant, one of the first ones there again.
Yeah, Wyant coming from the opposite side, the inside linebacker, down the line of scrimmage, and just waited for Kraft to, you know, his little cut up and wiped him out.
If you haven't had a chance to talk to the Wyant brothers, they're twins, and they are just about as nice of people as you're ever going to come across. You know, you've got Cole in the linebacking core. His brother is the backup quarterback. Just great people. 3rd down and 5. Perka has time in the pocket across the middle. Pass complete. Nice catch, honestly, as the defender draped on him. And making the catch there. Is that your tight end?
Yeah, that's Ochoa.
Okay.
Ochoa just on an option route there in the middle. Perka was able to look at his first read, didn't like it, came back to Ochoa on the option route right over the middle.
Ochoa last year, 13 receptions, 185 yards, and a touchdown. Kind of the backup tight end, but he is a big option for the Saints. 1st down and 10. Perka handoff, and they're trying to find some running room and doing a nice job avoiding tacklers that time was Duncan Kraft. It looked like Kraft was going to get destroyed behind the line of scrimmage. And he is able to get out to midfield, a gain of 5.
Yeah, Zach Newton, defensive end, on this side, getting down the line of scrimmage and making the tackle, but not before Kraft picked up 5 yards.
Look at the people we have in this place. I was going to make fun of all the people that are still in the tailgate, but we've got people on the hillside. We have an absolutely jam-packed house. 2nd and 5. Perka out of the shotgun right at midfield. Back, releases, gets the ball hammered, but a gain of 3 as it gets out to Kraft.
Good job on the man assignment from inside linebacker by Cade Wyant. He has to pick Kraft up. Montana Tech brought pressure that time, and Perka read it, threw hot to his back on the arrow route out of the backfield, but Wyant was there to make sure he didn't get the first down.
3rd down, and we'll call it 3 here.
Need to stop here defensively.
Digger D looking to the sideline for the play call. Carroll huddles pretty close to the line of scrimmage, and they come up to the line quickly. Split backs, 3 receivers.
Got to watch it back out here.
Montana Tech 3 on the defensive front, showing pressure from the bottom side of your screen. Perka dropping back, pressure coming. Drops it off, pass complete, and still on his feet is Kraft. Kraft gets knocked out of bounds at the 33-yard line. He got hit hard as he caught it, but the defender did not wrap up, and Kraft was able to keep his balance and move downfield.
Yeah, that's actually not Kraft. That was Quinn Belcher in the backfield, but he was left of Perka in the backfield, just a straight flat route, a quick release, and Perka found him on target. Back out of the backfield is currently hurting Montana Tech's defense.
1st down and 10 here for the Saints. 2:10 left to play in the opening quarter. Saints leading 7-0, and their offense is chugging. One back, trips receivers, right, pressure coming. Perka stands, delivers downfield across the 25 to the 24-yard line.
Carroll's doing a nice job of getting 5 guys in the route, and they're running them all over. That time they ran Kraft out of the backfield to the dead T side on a flat route. And then they got the tight end on the in route. And a combination on the trip side out here, really spreading Montana Tech's defense sideline to sideline.
Ryan Rickman, the tight end, with the reception. 1st down and 10 here for the Saints. Ball at the Montana Tech 25. Their offense has been doing some great work thus far. Perka, a hard snap count, and we'll see if the Digs got into the neutral zone.
Yeah, I don't know about this. It looked like the right guard might have brought Zanetta over. We'll see here.
Carroll 8 first downs right now. They have run 19 plays for 109 yards thus far. Very good first quarter. And our white hats will say offside. So
number
the Digs
99.
got in the neutral zone.
5-yard penalty.
Boy,
still first down.
Waved his guilty flag a little too early there.
That was a flag you have never brought out of the holster,
you
have
gotta
you?
get up and point. Everybody knows. You got to plead your case.
Yeah.
Zanetta just mailed it in.
We'll send him your DVD set later.
Holy cow! You lose the integrity on that football field as soon as you cross the sideline.
1st and 5 from the 20-yard line. One back. Montana Tech brings 5 to the defensive fronts, and they'll bring pressure. Perka in trouble, airs it up, and that one is incomplete. As the Digs got good pressure that time as they brought the house.
He would have liked to have completed that to Jensen, but that was just a good throwaway. Recognized real quick. He was under pressure and got that ball thrown away. He knows negative gains right now are no good.
Zach Newton, the big D lineman, a redshirt freshman out of Great Falls High School, got the pressure in that time. Newton, 6 foot, 260.
Little guy.
Yeah, I have the 260 covered. I just don't have that 6 foot part covered yet. 2nd and 5 from the 20-yard line. One back. Carroll quickly to the line of scrimmage. Perka hands it off to his tailback. Kraft tries to spin. Boy, he's caught right at the line of scrimmage, but still able to lean forward for maybe a yard. I'm really impressed by Kraft's movement laterally so far here in the first half.
Yeah, he's a heck of a good runner. He's a great runner at Billings Central. I remember him well. He was playing a good game, and he's really standing out. We mentioned Cade Wyant's the only returning starter at linebacker for Montana Tech. It's pretty clear right now. I mean, he's made about every play this defense has made here today so far.
He has been involved in all of it. So another 3rd down here thus far for the Saints. As up to the line of scrimmage, now we're going to get a whistle.
Yeah, they're going to spread you out. They got 2 receivers. They got Rothy and Akolshin out there to the left. Split down here to the wide side.
Timeout.
in Harrison
Carroll College.
and Kraft
That's
in the
their
backfield.
second charge time out of the half.
They're going to have to cover 25 deep and 54 wide here.
So once again, thanks for joining us here as 24 seconds remaining in this opening quarter. The Saints leading 7-0. Carroll right now in the first half, in this first quarter, I should say, is 6 of 6 on third down. I mean, that's a monster number in the opening 15 minutes.
Montana Tech has to mix up some coverage here. I think you got to cloud a corner, especially to any kind of favorable drag side. We've seen them catch a Colson on 2 big third downs, crossing the field. I think if you cloud a corner, when I say cloud a corner, just leave him there and play 3 deep behind him and see if you can't get a play that way, because they're not forcing Perka to look too far downfield right now. He's picking up all the easier completions from 10 yards deep and in.
So again, thanks for joining us. We've got some friends chiming in. Former Ordigger coach Nick Browdigan Sr. out over to UW, as the Huskies certainly looking darn good in the preseason. Coach, thanks for joining us. Out of the shotgun, 3-step drop, up in the pocket, across the middle, wide open inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. As they go to their tight end once again, as Ochoa is going to get the pass, and that's going to move the chains for the Saints.
Getting good protection, and you should get good protection. Montana Tech rushes 3 there. They're dropping 8. You should get good protection. But how many times in the past 20 years have we seen teams either side of the ball get pressure with 3 guys, and it just disrupts everything? But Carroll's doing a good job just in their base pass pro, and they're giving
That's the end of the first
chance
quarter.
to get to number 1, number 2, number 3, and sometimes number 4.
You know, you look at the Saints right now here in the first half. As of right now, they've run 21 total plays for 110 yards. And again, the big one is that third down efficiency. They have just been on the numbers so far here on third downs, and they controlled the first 15 minutes. So we're getting ready for the start of the second quarter, and actually we have a presentation on the field as the George Bandy Memorial Award, presented annually to the top performing Frontier Conference athletic program. The All-Sports Trophy is named in honor of the first commissioner of the Frontier Conference, Dr. George Bandy. Bandy, his wife, Cheryl Ann, and their 8-year-old son, Michael, died tragically in a 1983 boating accident with their sailboat overturned on Canyon Ferry Reservoir. Dedicating his life to education, Bandy worked at Northern Montana College from 1956 to 75. He served as the Lights' first head football coach, as head baseball coach, and as assistant men's basketball coach. He served as athletic director, student teaching director, graduate school director, dean of education, vice president, and acting president. Sounds like your resume, Husky. A year later, Bandy moved on to Western Montana College as interim president until July of '78, when he left Western to accept the position of Chief Deputy Commissioner of Higher Education, where he worked until his retirement in 1979. Representing the Bandy family for today's presentation is George and Cheryl's son, Tom Bandy, a 1976 Montana Tech Petroleum Engineering graduate. Tom currently serves as president of Iron Horse Resources, a Denver-based oil and gas company. Tom has distinguished himself in both his career achievements as well as his service back to Montana Tech, serving on both the Montana Tech Petroleum Advisory Board as well as the Montana Tech Foundation Board of Directors, where he served as board chairman twice during his tenure over a decade. Tom selected for a Distinguished Alumni Award in 1997. He and his wife Linda established and funded the George R. Bandy Memorial Endowed Scholarship here at Montana Tech as well. Tom and Linda have long been proud supporters of Montana Tech and recently celebrated their 40th wedding anniversary. Tom is going to come up here and join us at the half, and look forward to talking to Tom.
Is that all?
I know. Can you? That makes me feel so small when I read. I mean, that is incredible.
Did I tell you I mowed the yard today?
I didn't do that. I got thrown out of the house at 7 a.m.
I took my lunch hour to mow my grass, and that's, you know, it was a phenomenal achievement.
Okay.
1 hour break. Stay away from the food. Yeah, all in one day. Read that again, would you?
That is incredible. And the other part is Commissioner Paulson is on the field right now, as Montana Tech would love to give a special farewell thank you to Commissioner Kent Paulson. Given over 50 years to education, including the last 14, is the longest tenured commissioner in Frontier Conference history. Kent is a guy that, when we ran the radio show and overtime, he was on with us all the time. He's a guy that loves the Frontier Conference. He loves all the programs. He loves what he has been able to do in his years. And I'm a big fan of Kent Paulson. This is his final day on the job. September 1st, we get our new commissioner. So today is Commissioner Paulson's final day on the job, and he's spending it with us and about 8,000 other people.
Yeah, and he likes buy-in, right?
That's it.
He likes buy-in. He likes the Montana Tech atmosphere because they're bought in to everything, for student athletes, academics, sports, the following of sports and all that stuff. And then there in Helena, Carroll's, it's a lot the same way. That's hence the rivalry. I mean, there are two programs that are going to bring it year in and year out in every sport, and he's into that stuff. He just is.
Well, and again, we've been awfully lucky to have him, and certainly look forward to the future of our Frontier Conference. But Commissioner Paulson's done an awful lot of good for all of us. 15 minutes on the clock. Real quickly, number-wise, it's all in favor of Carroll College. 22 offensive plays, 122 total yards of offense. They are 7 of 7 on third down. Montana Tech right now with 9 offensive plays in the first quarter, 26 yards. And that's it. I mean, Carroll College leading 7-0, and they're knocking on the door here to get this second quarter underway. So again, thanks everybody for joining us here. Got people chiming in. I love it. The Ordiger family. Doesn't matter what corner of the globe you're in. Everybody's just happy to be a part. Handoff. And down inside the 5 to the 3 once again is going to be Kraft, Duncan Kraft, the redshirt senior out of Billings Central.
They're playing good up front. Carroll's playing good up front. That was a low snap, a tough exchange in the backfield on the inside zone to the right side, but Kraft didn't have to panic. There was nobody in the backfield. He was able to field that ball, get his eyes up, make a subtle cut in the backfield, and get up close to the goal line.
In my nearly 30 years of doing this, that is one of the calling cards you can always know. It doesn't matter who the coach is. Carroll College's offensive front is going to be solid. Second and goal. Twin tight I formation. They were in this a lot in the first quarter when they were inside the 5. Handoff to Kraft. Kraft pounding left. Kraft is in for 6. So Kraft will break the plane and get into the end zone. Carroll College leading 13-0 here in the opening moments as we're just underway in the second quarter.
It's go time if you're here, Montana Tech. It is go time offensively. You got to get those troops circled on the sideline and get a plan and get out, make some first downs, and try and get points on the board.
Kicking unit is in for the PAT, and they will look to make it a 14-point lead. Hot night here in the mining. The kick is away. 14-0 as the Saints up over Montana Tech here. We're with Digger Vision. It's Copper Night presented by Rocky Mountain Credit Union. And as always, thanks for joining us here. Paul Panisco, Ron Haskett, and the Saints in control here in this opening half. You have to assume the big one right now is Montana Tech's offense. Get some first downs, calm down a little bit, and just kind of get your offense going.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that plan, I'm sure, that they have in place. They haven't got to, try and execute yet. But, one of the things is, let's get Wyatt Alexander one-on-one against one of these young corners and just see. Alexander's big, he's strong, he knows how to high point the ball, and he can run out of sight. But we haven't seen really any of that. They've made Blake Thielen uncomfortable back there. They're defending against any kind of inside-outside run from Blake Counts. And then Montana Tech shot themselves in the foot a couple times offensively, and we talked in the pregame. You just can't let that happen.
So Montana Tech will get the return team out. They had a nice return in the opener.
I'd watch for an onside kick here, too. I mean, Carroll's got all the momentum.
Line of scrimmage, Saints will look to kick it away. Montana Tech moving north on the field. Again, we have an absolutely packed house here tonight. Stands are beyond capacity. Tailgate is a ton of people hanging out over there. And the return will start at the 9-yard line. Levi Torgerson across the 25-30. Out to the 33-yard line.
I think that's Vetter. Is that Christian Vetter?
I know Christian Vetter is a possibility in the backfield as well. And that is the case. So Christian Vetter with the carry, or with the return, I should say.
We should see Christian Vetter in the backfield at times today. I guess he's had a great fall camp. He had a good spring and a good fall camp, and he's ready to go.
Anybody that watched Christian Vetter play for Erie Gray and Butte High School knows the kid knows nothing other than hard work. I mean, he is just a hard-working kid, and he is going to earn his reps here at Montana Tech. First down and 10. Out of the backfield, Blake Thielen, one back at home, heavy formation to the right side. And going in motion, handoff going to go up the middle to Counts. Counts goes nowhere. He'll get maybe a yard out to the 35. Boy, just a wall of white in front of him.
D-tackle Garrett Warden that time shed his blocker and had his hands on Counts so fast it'd make your head spin. 6'4", 260-pound redshirt junior.
Second quarter action. Montana Tech looking to get some momentum here. They have run 7 offensive plays thus far in the first half. Carroll showing blitz. Montana Tech looks to the sideline. Thielen will now change the play. One back at home, 2 receivers right, 1 to the lefts. Carroll brings a bunch of guys to the line of scrimmage. Hand off to Counts. Counts able to get past the first guy, but not much else. He'll get a yard, possibly 2 at the most.
Yeah, Jake Walk from nose tackle getting down the line of scrimmage and getting his hands on Counts. Tough sledding in there. You got to start to, chip away a little bit at the passing game. Start to control it and soften that defense that way, because their ears are pinned back on Blake Counts right now, and it's tough sledding.
Third down and 6 here for the Digs. Trips receivers left. Ball on the right hash mark. Blake Counts in the backfield. Carroll, 3 down linemen. Looks like they've got the nickel package in, showing pressure from up top. Thielen stands in the pocket, has all day, but boy, he has 8 defenders down there. He'll run and slide across the 40 to the 41. So that's going to bring up 4th down and 4 here for the Digs.
You got to go try and get that first down. I know it's tough. You don't want your quarterback taking shots, but that's 3rd down. And you've got a chance. You got to try and make somebody miss, but you've got a chance there to lower your head and go get the first down. And Thielen went into a slide. I don't know if I like that.
So 4th down here for the Digs, and the punting unit will come in. So Montana Tech will look to punt it away. Andrew Olmo standing back at the 25-yard line. Had a tremendous year last year. I think he ended up with like 17 or 18 punts inside the 10-yard line. Almost booms it. The return will start at the 17. Fair catch at the 17. Sorry, I didn't see the... This is the wrong team to say, sorry, I didn't see the arm wave, but I didn't see the arm wave.
Yeah, I didn't see it either. Rothy back
timeout
there.
On the field. Media, timeout.
I mean, you don't want to mess up there. Your offense has been unstoppable so far.
We have a timeout on the field, so we'll take one as well. Carroll College leading 14-0 over Montana Tech. We're with Digger Vision. We're back here to Alumni right after this.
Hey, Dave Brennan here with Case IH. One of the new options for model year 2024 is going to be an open spoke gauge wheel. That open spoke gauge wheel is going to be available on all 2000 series planters. That's going to help those growers in adverse conditions where they're muddy or high residue conditions minimize that plugging in and around that gauge wheel area. For more information on this new offering of open spoke gauge wheels, visit your local Case IH dealer.
Welcome back to the game.
Hey, welcome back here once again to the campus of Montana Tech. We are with Digger Athletics on Digger Vision as the Saints of Carroll College up to the line of scrimmage after the punts. And the fake play action, they'll swing it out here on the edge across the 20, 25, and shoved out of bounds at the 28-yard line. Nice job getting downfield that time by Graham. Trayton Graham, a freshman out of Dillon.
That's not. That's Cameron Rothy. Excuse me.
Okay, my apologies.
Yeah.
They have 4 guys listed at number 3.
Yeah, Trayton's a true freshman. I think he did make the trip. I don't know what number he's wearing, though, because Rothy's number 4 on offense, and I saw him as wearing number 4 as well.
And the handoff this time will go to the tailback across the 30 out to the 34-yard line. As rolling downfield that time, that's Tuggle. Our first time to see Baxter Tuggle here today. Tuggle, a redshirt senior out of Laramie High School, Wyoming. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 3 here for the Saints of Carroll College. Play action, and Perka's going to keep it himself. Fakes the slide, now slides at the 40 out to the 41. That was a nice individual run that time by Jack Perka.
That's where you can really get handcuffed as a defender.
Yeah.
You know, he goes into that slide, you hit him, you're risking a 15-yard penalty.
Isn't the fake slide a penalty now?
I don't know.
After what game was it where they fake slide and it was it Pitt a couple years ago? I want to say it was the Pitt quarterback like 2 years ago.
Oh, Pickett?
I think so, yeah. First down and 10, 3 receivers, 1 back at home. Out of the shotgun is Perka. Has time, pass, and that one's knocked away. Boy, it looked like it was in the breadbasket. Matt Whitcomb, a linebacker, came through and punched it out.
A little behind Rothy that time. The good designed route. You got to credit Whitcomb. He didn't give up on the play. Rothy bobbled it, and Whitcomb, trailing the receiver a little bit, got his hands up and wiped that ball away. That's a big play on defense.
Carroll College, 26 offensive plays for 153 yards so far in the first half.
Now defensively, I mean, what's killed you so far? Crossing routes and back out. You assume it's a passing play, right? You got to check back out and check crossing routes.
Montana Tech looking to push Carroll into a punting situation. Crossing route through the middle, pass is tipped, and that one will fall incomplete. Looking for the big tight end once again, that time for Carroll College, as Ochoa. I want to see, what is Ochoa listed at? He is a large body. Let me see what we have here for Ochoa. 6'3", 230. That feels really small for what I see out there, doesn't it?
Yeah, good job that time by Tel Arthur. Those young linebackers are starting to settle in and recognize routes a little bit. And you could see it there. They were just in better coverage and made it a tougher completion for Perka.
3rd down and 10. Out of the shotgun, Perka, blitz coming. Perka in the pocket, is able to get away. Perka across the 40, 45, turns it upfield. He's going to get first down yardage to the Montana Tech 48.
Got a flag in the backfield. Might see a hold here. Montana Tech brought pressure. Perka recognized it, got stepped up, found a seam, and got out of there. But it looks like they're,
Number 55. 10-yard penalty.
It was.
Replay.
There we go. So that one is going to go backwards. And our research department has chimed in and said, Kenny Pickett, the fake slide is now illegal.
Oh, okay. Nice.
We worked it out. We worked it all out together. It's Mr. Nelson, our former defensive back.
Oh, Reed.
Maybe 5 years ago, Reed, you graduate? Is that where we're at, 4 or 5 years ago? I actually saw his pops the other day. I was at a wedding over the summer, saw his dad, another one of my favorite people in the world, tremendous coach.
Tech's got their, they bring pressure. They got their ears pinned back, but you got to learn to flatten out against a mobile quarterback.
3rd down and long. Perka dropping back pressure. He sets up back screen, and that one will fall incomplete. So for the first time today, Carroll College will be forced to punt the football.
Good job by Sanchez. Angel Sanchez out there. He read screen, and he was up there. Should they make that completion, he was up there to make the hit.
So that'll bring up 4th down. How sad is this? I have a carrot in our booth, and there's pasties 6 feet away from us behind us.
They look tempting, but I've been all over the wings, Paul.
Oh, man. 14-0, Saints with the lead. Right now, Carroll 28 offensive plays, 153 yards. Montana Tech 9 offensive plays, 32 yards, and they will look to add to that total here.
Good series that time for that Tech defense. Get a little momentum and send a message to your offense.
This is where you miss Mark Estes not in the lineup. Punt is short. Bounces at the Tech 38, but takes a good Carroll roll inside the 30.
Got to go field that ball. You just got to go field that ball.
So Montana Tech, Carroll, good bounce on a short kick, and the Digs will take over. This has to be as many people as I've seen not only shoved into the facility, but the amount of people that are still in the tailgate is bonkers.
Great crowd.
This is what it's about.
Good job. Yeah,
Frontier
good job
Conference.
Both. There's a lot of purple in these stands, too.
There is.
And going back to the last time I was at a Carroll College game, they haven't been drawn like they did during the Mike Van Dies era, and the tailgate is not near what it used to be either. So
I felt
for
like
those
our
people to make
tailgate
the
was
trip,
bigger than Carroll's last time we were there.
Yes.
First down and 10. Out of the shotgun is Thielen. Pressure coming. They set up screen here on the near side to Jackson. Jackson across the 35, out to the 38, a gain of 12.
There you go.
Jordan Jackson, ladies and gentlemen. Watch for him to be a big factor here this year.
Couple quick hitters, short passes. Get Thielen a little confidence, because I tell you, when he starts to throw on balance and confident, he is really, really accurate and delivers a really catchable ball.
Jackson goes wide left. It looks like Torgerson in the slot. And down here on the bottom of your screen, looks like Wyatt Alexander. Out of the shotgun, Thielen looking to throw again. He wants the deep ball to Alexander. He has him. Wyatt into the breadbasket. Touchdown, Montana Tech.
There you go.
Wyatt Alexander, he'll take it from 62 yards out, and the Digs are on the board.
There you go. You got to test that young secondary. You just got to take a chance. You got to trust your experience there with Alexander, who can pick him up and put him down. He's a big target. He's easy to find. Give him a chance.
So Montana Tech gets this crowd on their feet. Wyatt Alexander, 62 yards. What a throw by Blake Thielen. Absolutely in stride, right in the breadbasket. 6 points, easy.
You couldn't have made it any more perfect.
So the kicking unit is in for the PAT. What a throw, and all of a sudden we have a one-score ball game.
Alexander's so impressive at full speed. He really is.
Snap and hold are good. The kick is up and good. 14-7, and we have a timeout on the field. The Digs pull within 7. Carroll College up 14-7. We'll take a break. We are back here in just a bit. Digger Vision, Ron Basketball Panisco on a Thursday night. We're back right after this.
Nucor is a great company. They care about their people. They care about the environment.
I've never been restricted to fall in a box. I've never been told that I can't do something.
I saw it as a great opportunity to develop a career.
You create your own destiny at Nucor.
We're building something bigger out here at Nucor. Come join us.
Trident 5550, the Case IH Combination Application System Solution. A couple of key points for model year 2024 are going to be the addition of a 135-foot spray boom for that enhanced productivity, and then AIM Command Flex 2, the ultimate in advanced spray technology, individual on-off nozzle control, a host of other features, making the most of your product application. To learn more, visit your Case IH distributor or caseih.com.
This is Digger Vision.
Hey, welcome back once again as we are here with Digger Vision. Thank you so much for joining us. We have the Copper Game presented by Rocky Mountain Credit Union. We have a party in this house right now. As you look over, the Torgerson tailgate is rolling. We have a lot of new facilities, some cool stuff happening here. And we just, the amount of people here is just insane. This is so great.
Great draw. Yeah, it's they've been improving every year, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And it's been like this for a long time, but yeah, you're right. I don't know that I've seen a crowd like this in a long time.
So thanks for joining us on a Thursday night. Thanks for always chiming in and letting us know where you're listening from. We have a lot of alum and a lot of people that are dear, dear friends of ours that have listened to us in lots of parts of the globe through the years, Haskett, and it's certainly great to hear from them here as the evening goes. So the Digs.
We got to send out a hello.
Please do.
John Badavanek. I'm assuming he's watching. Hopefully he's listening. He's a big fan of yours. He tolerates me. But hopefully he's got his notebook out.
Yep.
And he's taking notes of every stupid thing that comes out of my mouth. He handed me a page full one time. It was priceless.
We should frame it and put it in here.
Bado, if you're listening out there, hope you're healing up. And look forward to seeing you soon, pal.
That's the deal right there. So, as always, we're ready to roll. That one goes out the back of the end zone. And the Saints offense, we'll see if that Digger D got a little life after that stop last time. Carroll College right now, 29 offensive plays, 153 yards, 2 touchdowns. And they have been forced to punt once so far here in this first half.
Smart defenses learn, and you could see it. I mean, you could see this defense is growing into this game. You could see they recognized routes last time. They recognized, the inside zone, and they're starting to come together.
Carroll College, Perka out of the shotgun snap, a little short. He rolls out right, hits his back out again. That one's going to go across the 30, 40, down the sideline, 45, out to the 48.
That's Ochoa on a little delay, a little tight end delay to the flat. Good play call. Rollout pass. Then Montana Tech start to get eager. Bringing a little pressure, so they got Perka out on the perimeter, just delayed his tight end a little bit, let him release to the flat.
I have Ochoa 3 catches for 38 yards here in the first half. He has been a big factor at tight end for the Saints. 1st and 10, Carroll College, ball at their 39.
Let's be honest, offensively, Purcell knows what he's doing over there. I mean, he's had success everywhere he's gone.
Handoff, going to go to the tailback across the 45 to the 46. They're getting good yardage on first down out of their tailback.
Yes. Yeah,
and that's a huge factor.
Yeah, huge credit, because it's nothing real fancy. You know, it's not a lot of counter. It's not a lot of power. It's just inside and outside zone. And they're getting hat on hat up front. They're staying on their feet, getting to the next level, getting into that linebacker tier. And they're making life tough for that Montana Tech defense.
Perka is 9 of 15 for 101 yards. Going right side across midfield to the Montana Tech 45-yard line. Again, another nice move. That's going to pick up 10 on the ground. And they're on the Montana Tech side of the field at the 45.
You know, it's always next man up, right? Especially in this defensive front. Well, there's 2 guys that are sorely missed here today. You know, you think of Keyshawn James Newby, defensive end, chasing that zone down from the rear like he did last year. And then big guys like Zach Trumbull up front. Those guys are missed, but that's why you continue to recruit and fill.
1st and 10, snap again a little low. Perka able to dig it out. He drops it off to his tight end, who lost his footing and then is cleaned up at the 43-yard line.
Yeah, you can live with that if you're Montana Tech. That's just Wilcox. Cade Wilcox got a soft play in that tight end release, staying on top of it. Once the ball's caught, come up and make the tackle.
Wilcox, a Golden Bear out of Billings West.
Let's be honest, defensively, you can live with 2-yard completions.
Indeed. 2nd down and 8. Carroll taking their time in the huddle as they come up to the line of scrimmage. They lead 14-7.
It is nice to see a team huddle.
Well, we do go back to your era for the huddle. It's been a while. 3 receivers right, 1 back. Perka out of the shotgun. Montana Tech brings 5. Perka has time. He airs it up. Pass complete. Knocked clean. That's a big-time hit out on the edge, as that one gets swatted away.
One of my best teammates of all time, Mark Moudry. That was our funnest time in a game. All our best memories are from the huddle. Making fun of each other for dropping an interception or blowing a play. I mean, that's where it's all settled, right there in the huddle. Paul.
Matt Whitcomb knocking that one clean for the Digs, and there is some energy in the stadium right now. 3rd down and 8 for the Saints, I believe. Now, this would be their 2nd longest 3rd down they have seen today.
Yeah, you got a couple guys to account for. You got to pay attention. Where is number 17? And watch the back out.
3rd down and 8. Perka out of the shotgun. Montana Tech brings 3 up. Boy, linebackers, even safeties now dropping back a little bit. Pressure coming. Perka flushed out of the pocket right. Delivers downfield. That one's caught. Nice throw. Great catch. That's a gain of 10, and that's going to move the chains.
That's a Colson again. 17 crossing the field. Good job by Perka. Escape pressure. Attacked the line of scrimmage, flattened out, and found his number 1 target on the crossing route.
Boy, and he just put it on target. I mean, that was a heck of a throw by Perka. And again, he's handling pressure really well. He's getting out of the pocket. He's still keeping his vision downfield. Perka playing awfully well here in the first half. Right now, 11 of 18 for 113. 1st and 10, Carroll College at the Montana Tech 34-yard line. Perka looking left the whole way. Receiver pass out on the edge as the square out to the sideline. That's going to be a gain of 5 as that one into the hands of a Colson once again. And that's going to bring up a very manageable 2nd and 5 for Carroll. They put themselves in good 2nd down position so far here in the first half.
Yeah, they recognized to the wide side of the field a soft corner play. Just had a Colson on just a simple little 5-yard out route. Get the ball thrown, get it complete, and let a Colson try and get the rest after the catch.
2nd and 5 from the Montana Tech 26-yard line. One back, two receivers rights, tight end lefts. Handoff going to go to the tailback. And pounding his way down near the 20-yard line is Kraft once again. Duncan Kraft. And his second, third, and fourth effort, he's going to move the chains. That was a nice run again by Kraft. So he puts his head down and pounds through it. 5 minutes remaining here in the first half. Carroll College leading 14-7. Honestly, it's been a really quick first half thus far.
Yes. Yep. Hasn't been a ton of penalties for starters. Hasn't been a ton of incompletions.
Carroll up to the line of scrimmage.
And the clock, this translates down to NAIA too. The clock doesn't stop on first downs anymore until inside 2 minutes, correct?
Yep. Two receivers right, one left. Handoff is going to go to Kraft, and this time he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Rolls into a wall of copper uniforms.
That's a better job that time. Fitzpatrick getting down the line of scrimmage from that defensive front and tell Arthur there to polish off the runner. That's what you do. You just need more hats to the football here. You got to shed blocks, get hats to the football.
So that will bring up 2nd and 10 here for the Saints at Carroll College. So they'll break the huddle and come up to the line of scrimmage. Looks like a little confusion as they come out. Three receivers right, one left.
Tech's gone to an even front.
Perka out of the shotgun. And play action, he wants to throw. He's going to drop it off, and that one's going to be bobbled and dropped. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 10 here for the Saints.
They tried that similar play to Ochoa that time, just a slow release to the flat out of the tight end, but Arthur was all over it.
Carroll College is 8 of 10 for 3rd down so far here in the first half.
That's one adjustment I've seen Montana Tech. You know, they started in an odd front, and now they've worked their way into an even front. They got the center uncovered. They got 2 defensive ends in the game, hoping maybe that one extra defender at the line of scrimmage will make Jack Perka a little more uncomfortable there.
3rd down and 10 here for the Saints. Crowd getting loud here at Alumni Coliseum, and Carroll College is going to call a timeout, and that's their final.
No, Tech took that defensively. I didn't see. It looked like they
Timeout.
were lined up in an even
Montana
front, but
Tech.
they didn't have an end
That's
down
their
here.
first
I don't
charge
know
timeout of
if
that.
they had 10 guys in the ball game or what's going on here, but they might have had a misalignment or not enough guys in on defense.
I apologize. The first official came out and looked as though he was signaling it was Carroll's way, so it is a Montana Tech timeout. We'll go ahead and keep it here. The Saints up 14-7. Some of our numbers here as of right now. Carroll has run 39 offensive plays for 207 yards. Montana Tech 11 plays, 106 yards. And, of course, for the Digs, 62 of that came on a deep ball to Wyatt Alexander for their lone touchdown thus far in the first half. We've seen a few penalties, but not much for the first game of the year.
Right. Yeah.
You know, we've seen a few kind of plays where as they come out of the huddle, there's some confusion as far as where guys are supposed to be. But again, not a whole lot for the first ball game.
You know, that Montana Tech offense has just got to be chomping at the bit to get back on the field. They saw some success, not just the 62-yard touchdown, but they saw some success, some good execution in that drive leading up to that touchdown. They feel a little momentum. They feel like they kind of got all their bearings straight. And now it's up to this defense to get Carroll off the field and get that Montana Tech offense back on the field.
14-7, the Saints with the lead. They're looking at 3rd down and 10 from the Montana Tech 21-yard line. From here, you'd be looking at about a 38-yard field goal. So here comes the Digger D up. 3 down, 1 creeping up. Looks like they'll rush 5. Perka in the pocket, steps up, he gets away again. Airs it up downfield. And incomplete. That's going to bring up 4th down and 10 from the 21-yard line.
Yeah, tough catch. Rothy will tell you he should have caught that ball. It was a tough throw from Perka, trying to lead him to the sideline. But nonetheless, an incompletion. Montana Tech gets Carroll, you know, into a field goal situation
So
here.
you're looking at about a 38-yard attempt. It looks like about dead center of the field. And wind is not going to be much of a factor. We have a little bit of wind out of the southwest, but not much at all. 38-yard attempt here for the Saints. As Berger will look to put the Saints up by 3 more. Snap a little low. They're able to dig it up, and that one's going to be well short. But messed up the timing as that one came in low. By the time the holder was able to get it on the turf, it's no good. So Montana Tech will take over. 3:32 left to play in the first half.
That's what I do from the throw-up zone on the golf course. Just lay the sod over it, Paul.
So the Digger D holds, and the offense will take over. 2 timeouts remaining here in the first half. As we mentioned earlier, Tom Bandy will join us here at the half. Certainly looking forward to talking to him, the history of the Bandy Award and his history with Montana Tech. Haskett is already starting to dance. Wow.
That's got a little momentum here.
That's something we don't have on film, thankfully. So here come the digs out. Thielen, 1 back at home, 2 receivers right. And it looks like twin tight left. Handoff is going off and across the 30 out to the 33-yard line. Our first time to see Winterburn today. Caleb Winterburn to the 31-yard line, and that's going to be 10 or nearly 11.
I go back to his last game of the year, you know, when he just really started to take over. Such a great job. Counts was banged up, and he came in and showed us a side of him that we hadn't seen in his career thus far.
Winterburn out of Helena High School, a 6'2" senior. First down and 10. 1 back.
You're going to see him to this boundary side, so they're going to cloud this corner, and the safety's going to take this deep half. You know, they don't want to give Alexander or Jackson a free trip downfield.
Thielen airs it up, and that one goes over the head of Torgerson, the intended target, to the 45-yard line, and falls incomplete. A lot of bodies out there on Wyatt Alexander, as you mentioned, so that's going to bring up second down and 10 here for the Digs.
They're seeing a lot of 3-deep coverage. Now, whether you get it with corner safety or corner safety, you're seeing a lot of roll to 3-deep coverage. I'd expect Montana Tech to recognize that. Just run 4 seam routes at it and just see what you can get, you know, either up the seams or up the sideline. But I used to love 4 verticals just against 3-deep coverage. Let your quarterback look off one way and go to the other on that next tier right behind the linebackers.
Thielen 4 of 7 for 101 yards thus far. Second and 10, 3-man pressure coming. Thielen steps up. Thielen gets hit. Thielen is going to be sacked. That's going to be a loss of 1. And the first sack of the season here on this side anyway is going to go to Carroll College, and that's Hunter Peck, the linebacker out of Colorado.
The Eclipse. That was the Eclipse in my daughter's theology class. She sat behind. Said she couldn't see anything.
Oh.
Dad, do you know who Hunter Peck is? I said, yeah. He says, he sits in front of me in theology, and I can't see anything.
They're down at 11.
You know what I said? Lucky you.
That just means you can't be seen either.
Right.
3 receivers. That's the way you and I think anyway. Thielen downfield has his man complete. Jackson across the 45 to the 43-yard line. Jordan Jackson goes good for 27 yards. Montana Tech first down in the Carroll side of the field.
They're really excited coming into, after their fall camp with Jordan Jackson's progression at wide receiver. And so far this game, you can see it. He's playing 1,000 times more confident than he has the last 2 years.
So as we mentioned, Levi Torgerson is in. Kyle Torgerson was injured early in the year. I want to say spring ball is where he got hurt. And that brings Levi Torgerson into the lineup from the basketball team. Coach Adam Hyatt watching his progression on the sideline like a hawk. First down and 10. 4 receivers. They actually tight end in motion. Handoff going to go up the middle. Blake Counts.
There you go.
Big hits, and he'll pull the pile down to the 37-yard line.
He's going to earn every yard. There's no question about it. But that's 5 yards that time and not 1 or 2. And that's huge for this offense to look at 2nd and 5 versus 2nd and 8.
1:10 left to play here in the first half. Montana Tech does have 2 timeouts. They trail by a touchdown. Blake Thielen out of the shotgun. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to the right. Carroll showing pressure. Here it comes. Thielen steps up. Blake can air it up into the end zone into double coverage. That one overthrown incomplete. Clock will stop. 54 seconds remaining here in this first half.
More just a throwaway that time by Thielen. They had under-over on Wyatt Alexander running down the middle of the field. And I'm not against running Wyatt Alexander down the middle of the field, but he's going to be more apt to draw a second defender getting inside the hash mark there. I like him just on the sideline, whether it's deep outs, deep ins, or just go routes.
3rd down and 5. And Thielen out of the shotgun. Blake right now 5 and 9 for 129 yards. 1 back, 3 receivers. Man in motion coming across there is Wyatt Alexander. He'll turn upfield. Thielen drops it off on the inside to his big tight end. Big collision at the 30-yard line.
That was a big hit.
Holy man, that was a monster shot. And On the brunt of that one for Montana Tech is going to be Logan Kennedy.
Yeah, and that's Tucker Jones coming up and meeting Kennedy. Yeah, that was a hard collision. Looked like it was helmet to helmet.
Yeah.
Kennedy's a tough kid. I mean, if he's down, it's for good reason.
Yeah, he tried to get up and get moving, and he took a shot from two guys. And the trainers are out with him. 14-7 our score. Carroll College up over Montana Tech. We're approaching halftime. As we mentioned, Tom Bandy will be joining us at the half. We're also going to talk to Shannon Sullivan-Panisco.
Almost didn't recognize Kennedy when I was at practice. It looked like he'd lost a little weight coming into fall camp.
Okay.
You know, they said he got, fairly thin, like down in that 205 range, and said he'd put, another 10 or 15 back on. But I tell you what, he looked cut up, ready to play. But, it's one thing to be 215 out standing in a 2-point. But when you're lined up against or next to a tackle, having to put a hat on a defensive end, that's a different story.
And for those that don't know, here in the last month, I've been hired by Montana Tech. So I work for Digger Athletics now. And I've been in the gym, and I've been able to hang out with these guys a lot more on the field. And the level of physical, just the physical specimens these guys are just crazy. I mean, these guys work their behinds off in the weight room, on the field. And it's next level when you look at some of these guys and the work they have put in through some, 4 or 5, and even with a COVID 6 year, there are some absolute monsters on the field. And you certainly know that goes for Tech, but also for every other school in the Frontier Conference. The way that the physical shape of players has changed through the years is just staggering. And I'll tell you, some of these guys are just absolute huge. And Kennedy is one of those. I mean, he is just chiseled.
Go stand next to Mark Estes. He plays wide receiver, for hell's sakes.
Yeah.
And he is a monster.
Yep. Yeah, with he and Winterburn, you just it's like, hello. So Logan Kennedy still down here for the Digs as we approach halftime.
He was moving pretty well afterwards. I think this is a lot of precautionary stuff. Might have got, some kind of a stinger down through the neck, into the shoulder, perhaps. Who knows? But a lot of precaution these days.
14-7, the Saints up over the Digs. Again, thanks for joining us here with Digger Vision Copper Game, a service of Rocky Mountain Credit Union here on Digger Vision. Make sure to join us all season long here. And the fun part, I wasn't able to get in the tailgate a ton, but the amount of people that came in for the game, I love it. I talked to a group from Nevada that came up. They're like, well, we would love to gotten up here for Green's presentation later in the year, but that we were unavailable then. So we loaded up the van and headed up for this game. The amount of just the alumni base we have is so incredible, and especially those that are able to, get in the car and join us from whether it's across, from Helena or Missoula or wherever, or out of state coming in.
Yeah, it looks like they're bringing Logan to his.
Yep, he gets up into a sitting position.
Yeah, sitting up at least. Oh, that was quite the hit.
Big time. So as we take a peek here, as we make our way toward the half, we'll talk to Tom Bandy. As we mentioned, we'll talk about day one here at Montana Tech. Shannon Sullivan-Panisco will join us. Also, Tommy Hepler will join us on the athletics side. And then we have a Hall of Famer, Eric Jacobson, who's going to join us as we get the third quarter underway. No pressure on him at all.
He's got
Mr.
a pretty
Bandy
impressive
is in the building.
He's got a pretty impressive wing bone pile in front of him. Attaboy. How about bringing some of your old buddy a couple of wings?
Yeah, oh yeah. So that will. All right, so Logan Kennedy with some help does come off the field. Our best to Logan.
We don't
walking
care. No
under
one's
his
listening.
own power. And we are back here, first down and 10. Carroll College leading 14-7. Blake Thielen out of the shotgun. Handoff going to go to the tailback. Blake counts, trying to find some room. He'll get across the 30 to the 28. It's going to be a gain of 3. Clock running. We're down to 35 seconds.
Carroll's doing a nice job on that defensive front. No doubt about it.
Timeout.
Again,
Montana Tech. That's their second charge. Timeout of the half. Please reset the game clock to 38
So
seconds.
we have a timeout on the field. I was talking about the Torgerson brothers earlier, and what they have done here has been amazing. But you talk about Levi Torgerson. He's on the basketball team. He was first team all-conference, all-state in basketball and in football. comes to Montana Tech basketball, period, and has, played for Coach Adam Hyatt and done tremendous things there. And his oldest brother, who was a coach on this staff, was the one who approached and asked the question. He sat him down and, from my understanding, basically said, "We need you," as middle brother is out with an injury. So he goes in and sits down with Coach Adam Hyatt, and I asked Coach Hyatt, I'm like, how was that question even asked? And were you ever expecting that? If you know the Torgerson family, were you expecting that question ever to be posed? And Hyatt was like, no, it was an absolute shocker to me that he asked. And he said, you know what? I thought about it for a minute, and no, go get it. Get after it and go do it. So we have a two-sport athlete. Levi will play basketball as well. And I can't imagine we have had many of those in any sport in the Frontier Conference, and certainly not many in Montana Tech's history of playing, on the basketball team and on the football team.
I know a lot of them could, including our second-half guest, Eric Jacobson, could have played basketball up here as well.
2nd and 8, Jordan Jackson on the out route to the sideline. That's complete to the 17-yard line. First down yardage, 33 seconds remaining here in the first half. There was a really good conversation I had with Coach Hyatt, and he was real candid about it and pretty funny about it, and I appreciate his time giving me the honesty about it, First down and 10 for the Digs. Blake Thielen right now 6 of 10 for 135 yards. One back at home is counts. 2 receivers left, one to the right. Thielen out of the shotgun. 3-step drop, has time. Crossing route too far out in front as he was looking for Torgerson.
They were layered that time. He had his tight end across at 5 yards, and Torgerson at about 8 yards. I don't know if there was a route mix up there or what. I mean, if they're crossing the field there in the middle, you can layer them, but you want them at, different levels. And, it looked like a ball intended for 2 different receivers there.
So the clock does stop with 29 seconds remaining here in the first half. Thielen, 2 receivers to his left, 1 to the right. Heavy shadow over to his left. Thielen has time, passes to his right, complete inside the 10, down to the 8-yard line.
That's going to be close to a first down. I think it's a little short. They got about 1.5 yards or 2 yards left. Yep. Probably going to take that last time out.
Wyatt Alexander with the reception, and the Digs do call their final timeout. 21 seconds remaining here in the first half. Montana Tech,
that's their third and final timeout of the half.
After 30 minutes of play.
You keep counts in play here, too. I mean, if you want to take a gamble and run the ball here on 3rd and short, just get ready to get up to the line, spike the ball, and maybe deal with your last 14 seconds of the half or so inside the 10-yard line.
Montana Tech inside the Case IH red zone. Of course, Torgerson has their tailgate on this side of the field. And the Case IH red zone brought to us by Torgerson and the entire Case lineup. We'll be talking about them and their equipment that covers 14 locations across Montana, Wyoming. Agriculture, construction, forestry, rentals, and more, working every day to make your day more productive.
They do it all.
That they do.
All over the place now. It's pretty exciting to see.
3rd down, and they'll say 2 officially. So 3rd and 2, again inside the Case IH red zone here at Alumni Coliseum for the Digs. And it looks like Jackson going to go to the right side. Also Torgerson wide right, and Wyatt Alexander will go by his lonesome far left.
They're going to take a poke at Alexander here.
They say back pylon.
They've been keeping him here on the right side. They're bracketing this short field.
Play action. Thielen. He's forced out of the pocket. Thielen looking to get rid of it. He does so. Throws it at the feet of a receiver. And that will be incomplete and bring up 4th down here for the Diggers. 16 seconds remaining in the first half, and it looks like they'll elect to go for 3.
I'm real surprised they didn't take a shot at their number 1 wide out there. One-on-one against a redshirt sophomore, Daxon Graham.
So Ryan Lowry will come in for the field goal attempt. They'll spot it at the 17-yard line. So a 27-yard attempt from the right hash mark for Lowry, who only had 1 miss a year ago. First team all-conference in the Frontier. Snap and hold are good. The kick is up, plenty of leg, and Lowry knocks it through. And the Digs calling for flags. Every coach is on the field screaming for flags here. And Montana Tech brings them within 4. 14-10 our score.
I didn't watch it. What are they looking for? Did someone run into Lowry there? Or?
I honestly don't know what we had here. See if they get us on the replay and take a peek. A 4-point lead for Carroll College right now as you look As Perka currently is 12 of 21 for 120 yards. Kraft has 15 carries for 60 yards. And Tucker Jones, 2 carries for 16 for the Carroll College Saints. On the other side, Blake Thielen, 8 of 14 through the air for 154 yards and a touchdown. Blake Counts has 5 carries for 12. Winterburn, 1 carry for 10. And receiving-wise, Jordan Jackson had himself a first half, 4 receptions, 73 yards. Wyatt Alexander, 2 catches for 72 yards and a score. And Montana Tech will kick it off here. Carroll College does have 1 timeout with 12 seconds remaining in the first half.
You got Harrison deep for Carroll, along with, I'm going to assume that's Spencer Berger back there. I can't read that number on the far side of the field.
Okay. So Montana Tech will look to kick it away here with 12 seconds. As we make our way into the half, we have a lot of people coming in to chat. So stick around. We're going to be talking about day 1. We're going to talk to Tom Bandy, talk about the Bandy Award, and great to have him back here on campus. We need to make that more of a regular occurrence. Kickoff, end over end, out of the back of the end zone. My goodness, barely even touched in the end zone with no wind assist.
He can hammer it.
Well, I'll tell you.
He meets it well. You know, you were talking about his field goal stats from last year. I remember that, I'm not going to say a handful, but the 2 or 3 times where they balked at a field goal attempt. You know, when I was up here,
you and I are going, hey.
Yeah, but he meets the ball well. I've never doubted his ability to kick it, not just long, but straight.
Boy, again, I just don't think it is talked about enough about the importance of having those 2 guys back in. You know, when you can rely on your punter and your place kicker to that level, when you're getting ready for another season, I mean, that makes life real easy. And Carroll will take a knee. And we are going to go into the half. The Saints up 14-10. Carroll College leading Montana Tech. We're here with Digger Vision. Thanks for joining us as we are at the half. Sun starting to set, and it's a little bit of a handful. Give us your quick thoughts, and then we'll get Tom Bandy in here, Haskey.
Well, a little more, you know, you heard my prediction before the game. I was expecting maybe a little more of a rock fight, lower. Now it's settled into more of a battle of attrition. You know, 2 defenses that are starting to recognize what their offense, their respective offenses are doing, and yeah, it's settled in. It's going to be a battle to the end. I think Montana Tech got a little bit of momentum there in the second half and started to do some of the things that they really wanted to do, especially throwing the football. And I think that gave them a little more of a spring in Blake Counts' step in the backfield, a little more daylight. And I think Tech defensively responded and started to understand what Carroll was doing to them that was hurting them there in that first quarter. And I think they're learning on the go. And I expect a lot of the same in the second half. You'll see some adjustments, no doubt. But, yeah, I think Montana Tech, I'll go on record as saying I think they got to test this young secondary deep down the sidelines. You know, trust, you've heard me say it a million times since I got done coaching. Trust my guy against your guy, one-on-one. And I would expect to see a little bit of that in the second half.
Carroll College leading 14-0 here as we are at the half. Again, thanks for joining us here with Digger Vision. Tom Bandy has entered the building. Ladies and gentlemen, Tom, how are you?
I'm doing well.
Oh, my apologies. Hold on. There we go. Let me get her situated here. I apologize for that. It's great to see you, Tom. And
good to see you. Thank you.
Welcome back to the Mining City.
Thank you very much.
Let's talk about the Bandy Award in itself. To get things started here, obviously a great reminder to our conference. What I think a lot of people, and myself included, look at this conference as it's family. You know, I mean, from top to bottom. You know, I'm an ore digger, but you know, I have an awful lot of friends that are Saints and Northern Lights and everywhere across the land. We're a Frontier Conference family, and a lot of that stems from the work of your father and where this Frontier Conference originally started.
Well, thank you. It's an honor to be here. This is just a whole lot of fun for me to come back. Especially since Montana Tech is my alma mater, to have the opportunity to present the Bandy All Sports Award to Montana Tech is extremely special. You know, the award was named in honor of my father, who passed away in 1983, and shortly thereafter they came up with the Bandy All Sports Award, which is awarded to the school who scores the most points and in conference competition in the variety of intercollegiate sports that they compete in, whether it's football or men's or women's basketball or men's or women's soccer, golf, what have you. They, based on where they place at the end of that season and in the conference, they get awarded X number of points. And at the end of the year, they add up the points, and the school that has the most points is awarded the Bandy All Sports Award. This last year, that was Montana Tech. So.
And it's funny because I think that's one of those that a lot of people might know of the Bandy Award, but those, when you get into those administrations and you get into those sports departments, this is a big deal. I mean, I love our athletic director, Matt Steppen. He is as energetic a guy and believes in Montana Tech like you should. I mean, that's what your job and what you're there for. But this meant so much to him in our administration. It's been 30 years since that award has been back here, and we need to make. Can we go ahead and schedule something for next year where we see you again here possibly and chat during a football game?
Well, that'd be wonderful. I'd be willing to book my flights right now, and it is real interesting. If you get to know the Frontier Conference more and more, you'll understand just how important it is to attract good students and retain good students. And in the Frontier Conference, most schools have a large percentage of students that participate in intercollegiate athletics. In fact, some schools have 40% or more of their students that do participate in intercollegiate athletics. It's very important to each one of those schools, and to be able to score well over the course of a calendar year in a variety of events, and maybe if you're fortunate enough to win the Bandy All Sports Award, these prospective high school students, they see this, they pay attention to this, and if they have a desire maybe to participate in sports in college, they know the programs that are doing well and the programs that are attracting the good students. So it's very special, and I've gotten to know a lot of the chancellors and athletic directors in the Frontier Conference, and believe me, it's very important to them. And,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's fine.
It was fun. I was able to, in the tailgate earlier today, talking to a lot of folks that are making their first trip back to Butte in a while. And one of my favorite things to ask them is what was it like when you crested Park Street? Because the drive up Park Street feels probably exactly like it did when you were here, when you graduated in 1976. But things change greatly when you crest Marcus and you start to come down the hill. The campus has changed an awful lot. What do you think about when you come across Park Street and look down the hill?
Well, the thing I notice immediately is the amount of building infrastructure that Montana Tech has been able to build over the course of the last, in my case, 30 or 40 years. The other thing I notice is the bars are still the same. They're in the same spot, and they all look the same. So.
And still have the same clientele, pretty much. That's pretty much the case.
That's right. But Montana Tech, particularly, that's the school I know best. They've done a wonderful job in creating more infrastructure on the campus, whether it's more dormitory or places for students to live, or more classrooms, or libraries or laboratories. They've done a tremendous job over the last 30 years building onto the campus.
Well, Tom, it's really great to see you, and thank you for everything you do for the Frontier Conference and for Montana Tech. And thanks for being here with the Bandy Award. This is a big deal for us here in the mining city, and this is going to hold a spot of pride. And hopefully, again, it happens before another 30 years rolls off.
Believe me, it's a big thing for the family, the Bandy family as well. My brother, my sister, myself. This is a huge deal for us, and what an honor to come back and present it to Montana Tech.
Well, sir, thank you for your time, and you can now leave the microwave. You're dealing with the sun, and it is hot in here.
It is hot. It's a nice night. Very nice.
Thank you, Tom. Have a great night.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tom Bandy here as we roll on through the half. As the Digs right now 4 points behind Carroll College. 14-10 is our score. And we're going to switch gears here. Again, our thanks to Tom Bandy as the Bandy All Sports Award awarded to Montana Tech for the first time in 30 years. And actually, Eric Jacobson's year, that was the last time that the Digs were able to take home the Bandy Award. And now we're going to switch gears, and we're going to talk about day one. You know, over the last several years, day one has become an awfully big deal. And one of the spearheads of that here is Shannon Sullivan-Panisco.
Oh, thanks.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great.
The last time I saw you, you kicked me out of the house this morning.
I did not kick you, but we were in the same abode.
Yeah. It's nearly time for day one. Day one is
a week away.
You okay?
I'm excited. I mean, it's like Christmas. It's pretty awesome.
Day one is special. It's special to our campus. It is special to our community. It's obviously special to our alumni and incoming students. Let's talk about the history of day one first, and then we'll get into how things are going this year.
Perfect. So the event itself, this is our 7th year.
Okay.
It is held in conjunction and adjacent to the first day of school, which happened in 1900. On the 11th of September, so we always try to make it adjacent to. This year it'll be on the 7th and 8th, so Thursday and Friday. Kickoff at 6 a.m. next Thursday and go until 11:59 p.m. We'll have over 30 projects this year.
Okay.
The coolest thing, and they're still coming in, but I can safely say we'll have over $300,000 in matching opportunities.
That's awesome.
For our projects. Each of the departments have a different fundraising focus, and some of the successes over the 7 years are pretty incredible. Last year, there's a whole lot of our departments that really focused in on outreach and recruitment for their departments. Mining has the successes that they have increased their numbers now almost double what it was 2 years ago as far as the incoming freshmen. Metallurgical and materials engineering, obviously, is close to our hearts. Our daughter was accepted to a camp that happened this summer that was put on completely by funds raised last year at day one. Yeah. And the impression that they made on those students and the number of them now that their first choice university is Montana Tech and the metallurgical and materials program is incredible. And the reason that they did it was they feel that half of the barrier in getting students into the program is that they just don't know what metallurgy is.
Yep.
And it's pretty incredible. I mean, there's so many wonderful things that happen on this campus that our departments do, and I think day one is really a level playing field, not only to raise funds for those programs, but also to tell their story and what's going on.
And that's where I was going to say that the story part is what I really find intriguing through the years, through the 7 years where you learn about the programs, you learn about the heads of the programs, the students that are part of it. That part of it is really special.
It is. You know, the last 2-3 years now, our mathematical sciences program has focused on 2 scholarships for, unfortunately, young students that we lost too early. So the Jacob Simpson Annual Scholarship and the Sage Strong, Sage Lindsay Scholarship. It goes to both benefit that program as well as the students. You know, Sage, there's a caveat in the criteria of that scholarship that a student should embody the spirit and moxie that Sage had. It really is. It tells the story not just of where we started, but where we are and where we're going as far as a lot of the programs and the projects that we focus on.
Give us the details. You mentioned next Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
Give us a website. Give us ways that people can look at those things next week.
Yeah.
And how they can give and be part of this.
So right now you can hop on day1.mtech.edu. You can sign up as an ambassador. You get a designated link that's yours. We're going to have an ambassador leaderboard where the top ambassador, so the number of donors that come in from that ambassador, we have a really awesome Digger swag pack that person will get. So you can hop on right now and sign up and get information as far as the event. The projects will start to go live probably tomorrow afternoon through Tuesday.
Okay.
And then the site will go live at 6 a.m. on Thursday as far as giving. So I rarely say this, but we have come real close to 700 donors the last couple of years, and we've got some things in the work as far as some momentum and incentive matches that may be happening. So the idea of the 7th year starting on the 7th and 700, it sounds pretty lucky.
That's it. So if you have given in the past, thank you. If you're able to help us this year, great. And the other side of that is reach out to the people you graduated with. Reach out to your friends. Reach out to those in your industry and urge them to help out with Montana Tech as well, as day one's going to be a big deal next Thursday and Friday.
Yeah. there's something that is your passion, we guarantee it, including athletics. So I want to give my colleague, Tommy Hepler, some opportunity to talk about some really wonderful things that are happening for Digger Athletics this year.
Thank you, Shannon.
You got it. Thank
Shannon
you.
Sullivan Panisco with the Montana Tech Foundation. Also with the Montana Tech Foundation and Digger Athletics, Tommy Hepler is here. As we talked about, every different department is in need of help. I mean, that's the world we live in, and certainly one of those is the athletic programs here at Montana Tech.
Absolutely, absolutely. And how do I follow up?
Dude, she's so good, dude.
She is so great.
She's
great.
the best one in our family.
No, athletics, yes. You know, our student athletes make up a huge population of our campus population. They're great on and off the field. Yeah. They come out as graduates and become great leaders. This year, with the historic gift by Ryan and Lisa Lance.
Indeed. And refresh people on that as far as, because we during the Digger auction this year, it was a huge announcement, and that really is changing the tone for Digger Athletics moving forward. And talk about the gift first, and then how people can help out afterwards.
So real quick, Ryan Lance, former Dig, former football player. He definitely made a transformation. Him and his wife made a transformational gift, donating $31 million to the campus. With $1 million of that is designated to our athletic Digger endowment. That Digger endowment will live on in perpetuity to continue to fund our student athlete scholarships, just paving the way to enhance our student athlete population with bringing in some great quality students, but also athletes as well. So very huge impactment, not only for the campus, but a great portion of that to athletics.
Yeah, this is, day one has turned into such an incredible beast. And you look at the successes we have seen out of it, and athletics is certainly a part of that. And, you know, there are things that we are looking to change. We're looking to do some great things and continue the great trends here. And athletics is going to be another part of that moving forward, my friend.
Absolutely. I'm an athletics guy, so I may be a little bit biased, but you know, you look at this crowd that we have tonight. It's amazing. I mean, you can't even see the people on the hillside, on both sides. There's still people in the parking lot tailgating. But in my perspective, athletics is the front porch of a university campus. Yeah. That's really where, you know, you can get your name out there, your branding, and, you know, things start snowballing. So it's all great things with day one coming up, huge impacts across campus. As Shannon mentioned, everyone has a program, everyone has a passion, and we just ask that you find it. And whether it's $5, $10, 5 cents, it all adds up and it goes to a great cause.
And the other side of that is the matching opportunities. That's one where those are the ones that just, you know, I get like teary-eyed, man. The idea of these people that'll go, hey, we're going to put up X amount of dollars, whether it's $10,000 or $20,000 or more, in a lot of times, where if somebody gives, we're going to match up to that.
Absolutely.
The amount of matching opportunities that we have seen in athletics is outstanding, and I would assume we're going to see that again. And all of this goes to help these programs. Now look at our current run of where we're at in the Frontier Conference. We just won the Bandy Award here at Montana Tech, first time in 30 years. That means that across our athletic events, we were the best team on average at all of it.
Absolutely.
You look at Montana Tech right now, our football team is number 16 in the country. Our volleyball team just got to historic highs at number 10. The first time in school history we have broken into the top 10. I believe, I shouldn't say I believe, I know that Coach Solomon was ranked number 12 in 2018.
Yep.
And I believe that's the group before him. I believe we were also number 12 in years past. So we're now number 10 in the country, our highest number ever. The Montana Tech men's team goes to the round of 8 in basketball last year. They're probably going to start the season in the preseason poll in the top 10, if not the top 5 in the country. You look at our programs, the returning All-Americans as far as track and field and cross country. Our golf is rolling. If you're helping, if you are giving money to day one for athletics, those are the things you're helping here at Montana Tech.
Absolutely. It's the student first and then the athletic program, and they go hand in hand. And, you know, anything we can do to, you know, highlight this great campus, you know, we ask that you do so. You know, one thing, you talk about matching gifts for day one, but one thing that folks, you know, that work for certain employers, they fail or they forget a lot of their companies will match their gift.
Yes, indeed.
So they can double their impact just by asking their employer.
Yeah.
So great time of the year. We got football kicking off. We've got a second half that we're going to finish. Volleyball, as you mentioned, right now 6-0. Golf's going to be starting soon.
Yes, indeed.
I mean, basketball's already practicing a little bit here and there.
And we have this. I mean, I was going to make fun of in the second quarter. I was going to make fun of how many people were in the tailgate and like weren't even coming in. And then I took in the like there's no place for them. Like there's just this place is packed to the rafters, and we have another half of football. So Tommy, thank you for everything you do for Montana Tech Athletics and the Montana Tech Foundation. And again, next week is it. Thursday, Friday, day one. Make sure to take a look at the projects under athletics, and those will go live here. You'll be able to take a look at them later in the week through Friday and up to about Tuesday. They'll all be there for you to eyeball, and then 6 a.m. on Thursday. Get after it.
And if there's any questions, our foundation office is always open. Give us a call, stop by, email us. We're here to help.
That's a great point. I mean, everybody in that building is, yep, I'm in. And if anything athletic related, just get a hold of Tommy and we'll get it taken care of.
Absolutely, Paul. Appreciate the time.
Thanks.
Let's finish strong.
That's it. That's the deal right there.
Roll
Tommy
Diggs.
Hepler. That's it. Tommy Hepler, ladies and gentlemen, Montana Tech Foundation. We're just... You want me to take time? All right. So with that, we have a little bit of time. Montana Tech trailing 14-10. We have a timeout, so we'll take one. We're back here to the campus of Montana Tech, ladies and gentlemen, right after this. Hey, once again, good evening to you, and welcome back here to the campus of Montana Tech or Digger football with Digger Vision. It's Rocky Mountain Credit Union's Copper Game. Paul Podisco, Ron Haskett, and Hall of Famer Eric Jacobson joining us here in the third quarter. How you doing?
Doing great, Paul. Thank you. What a pleasure to be here.
Thanks for coming up. Very much.
Anytime.
The last time Montana Tech won the Bandy Award, you were here.
I was. You know, that was all of a sudden 30 years ago. To quote the great Don Hawkinson, famous booster here at Tech, He was at Vegas one time with Green, and Caesar's Palace looked at his watch. It was 5 a.m., and he said, you know, it doesn't take long to spend the night in Vegas. No, I'd use that same line. It doesn't take long to spend 30 years in a career and raising families since you last were here at Tech.
Yeah, it's incredible. And Eric's going to stick around for a little bit. We're going to talk about things in his life and how things have changed here in the last 30 years at Montana Tech. Saints getting ready to kick it off. For the Saints, Perka was 12 of 21 for 120 yards. Duncan Kraft had 15 carries for 60 yards. And Perka ran the ball 3 times for 15. On the other side, Blake Thielen, 8 throws for 8 of 14 through the air, 154 yards and 1 score. Kickoff is across the 20 on the return. Stutter step by Torgerson out across the 25 to the 26. So I had to ask, one of my favorite things is when people come back to town, and obviously you're around a little bit more, but you know, you come up Park Street, you go past the VU, and you start making your way to Tech, everything feels the same until you clear the statue and look Marcus down the hill. How has that changed in your 30 years, the view when you get past Marcus looking downhill as opposed to, you know, when you were on campus?
Well, one thing that stayed the same is I still look to the right at the VU and see if Ron Haskett's there.
As does everybody else. As does everybody else.
But as you crest over that hill, it's phenomenal.
Thielen out of the shotgun. Slot goes in motion. That is Torgerson. Thielen going to roll the pocket to his right. Downfield has a man through the hands of Jackson. That's going to fall incomplete.
Yeah, ball got away from Thielen that time. Yeah, Jackson just hooked up at about 8 yards. Yeah, Jackson had the cushion. Plenty of room underneath him. Just an errant throw out of Thielen. He'd like that one back. He hasn't thrown a lot of balls on the run yet today.
True. Second down and 10 here for the Digs. One of the things that I love that has really been resurrected here at Montana Tech, and a lot of pride has gone into it, is the Hall of Fame. And as a Hall of Famer, what does that mean to you to be part of this here at Montana Tech?
Montana Tech is so special to me. It has a place in my heart, always will. What they've done with the campus, so many people involved, the generosity, the people, the support, it's just amazing. I'm so proud of this place. I love Butte, Montana. I love the people here. My wife and I love Montana. We're Montana people, 4th generation. Yeah. And but Montana Tech has a special place in my heart and always will, Paul.
We have a stoppage here. The officials might not have finished lunch.
That's all right. They deserve to eat.
Actually, it looks like Athletic Director Matt Steppen is talking to the white hat.
Maybe he's the water boy.
That's interesting. There was hand signals.
High-quality H2O.
I don't know what the hand signals were concerning. But yeah, the white hat was talking to Athletic Director Matt Steppen. Everything seems to be good now.
Boy, we got to fight this sun for about another 20 minutes, and I think we're going to be golden.
Well, we will be too, but boy, I'll tell you, when the sun starts to set in these night games up here, it's hard. So now we get the whistle, and we're back after it. Second down and 10. 2 receivers right, 1 to the lefts. As out of the shotgun, Thielen, once again, 8 of 14 for $154 in the first half. Tech trailing by 4. Thielen, he's going to hand it off. Counts, trying to find a lane. Spins out across the 25 to the 28-yard line. I assume in your memory as well, when Tech and Carroll met, you played in front of about 8,000 people 30 years ago as well, right?
That's the way I remember it, screaming 8,000, Paul. Maybe a few less.
Can you believe this?
It's
this
just
is insane.
Frontier Conference football has become outstanding. The diggers, the crowds, just the overall support wagon is just remarkable.
Third down at 8 here for Blake Thielen. He'll bring man in motion. That's Wyatt Alexander going from left to right. That puts 3 out on that side. 3-step drop. Thielen has time. Now he steps up, looking to escape. Thielen going to run across the 30, slides at the 35-yard line. He'll be about 3 yards shy of the first down marker.
Yeah, that's another chance. You know, I know you want to protect your quarterback. I mentioned that in the first half. Thielen wants to protect himself. That's a big first down opportunity there. He goes into a slide. I think if he leans forward, finds a seam, and dives, he gets the first down there. And more importantly, what that does for the sideline and the support, the defense, and all that stuff. Not that they're not on his side, but I tell you, that's a huge momentum shift. Just one first down. Just one first down, and it's huge for this team, this whole team on the sideline. I think he's got to lower his head, recognize where he's at, and go get that first down.
4th down and 1. The punting unit is in. Good snap back. And the kick, low line drive, bounces at the 18, single hopped and caught. Carroll looking to get a return going, and there's nothing there. A wall of orange will greet the return man, and he'll be taken down at the 18-yard line. So the Saints will get ready to roll.
Backup tight end Pierce there on the tackle.
Everybody, sorry, go ahead, Haskey.
No, I was just going to say, it's a good job covering a low punt, a returnable punt.
Everybody that I have come across can tell me their record against Carroll College. Do you remember what your record was against Carroll College?
Return team number 7.
The last 2 years.
At the goal, first down.
There you go. That's a good way to put it.
I remember the night game when we turned it around.
Yeah.
Lee Belt went off at tailback. We ended up beating them 33-6 or 33-7. But we were up 27-0. And it was the Greg Lee Belt show, and it was fantastic, wasn't it? That's a good buddy of ours, Greg Lee Belt.
Yeah, he's number 1. Number 34 in your programs, 4 touchdowns that night, and we took it to him up in Helena under the lights, and that was the first time Tech had beat Carroll in 10 years.
Well, I was 0-9 against him. Yeah.
And then we the next year, when we won the Bandy, such a special award, we won the conference championship. The footballers did down in Dillon, took it across the line to win the conference, and that was special too.
I say those things stay with you forever. Out of the shotgun, Perka. Perka going to hand it off, trying to turn it upfield. Nice run across the 10, out to the 12. Carroll continues to get really good yardage on first down.
Yeah, you just these two teams, they know each other so well. You just have to be happy with, not just positive yards, but, the difference in a game like this when you're facing the respective defense, the difference in 2nd and 5 versus 2nd and 8, 9, or 10 is paramount, right? And so, Kraft's getting the ball. He's not meeting anybody till he's 3 or 4 yards downfield. That's huge.
2nd down, and we'll call it 6. Out of the shotgun, Perka looking right the whole way. Boy, if that corner sees that football, he is on it. My goodness, is Jaden Downs. If he turns to the quarterback and sees that football, he might be in for 6 points.
Yeah, he's in man coverage there. They brought pressure, so to his credit, in man coverage, your eyes are on the opposing offensive guy. They're not in the backfield. So if he's in zone coverage there, he's soft and his eyes are in the backfield to the quarterback, and he sees that. But he's got man coverage. That's why you watch those guys in the NFL that get an interception, those corners. It's a huge play, because they don't see that ball until they get a ball called. Right.
Yep. 3rd down and 6. See if they can get the Digger D to get a stop here. Man in motion, stops. Perka looking right the whole way. In trouble. Perka, this time he's going down. Perka sacked at the 4-yard line. And that will bring the punting unit in for the Saints. That's a big sack for Montana Tech, and they're going to get good field position here.
That's McNeil on a safety blitz that time, getting up. And Carroll didn't do a bad job of picking up the heat package there, but Perka had nowhere to go with the football. He had to hold it too long, and everything just collapsed on him.
Frontier Conference MVP in 1992, Mr. Jacobson. What's the main memory? Like, what's the one when you think about games, when you think about Tech? What don't you get out of this equation?
Come here. I get to make. That's the first question. Or I get to make the first statement. Please don't say it's Finley's field goal attempt.
It actually came right after Finley's field goal, Kim.
Right.
It was packing the rock across the goal line down in Dillon to win the Frontier Conference Championship for the first time in so long at Montana Tech, and then go into the national playoffs.
Good for you.
That's the one that sticks in my brain, and I think about.
Media, timeout.
Eric Jacobson, Hall of Famer, Frontier MVP. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for what you do for Tech, and more importantly, selfishly, thanks for coming up here and watching over Haskett and I.
Paul, thank you. It's always an honor and a pleasure. Ron Haskett, friend of mine for 35 years, great guy.
I just want to say one thing before he leaves here. We're sitting up here, we're looking down on Bob Green Field.
Actually, we've got a minute, so feel free.
Yeah, and I go back and I'll tell him, and I've told you this a lot of times too. There's a lot of great coaches in the country, don't get me wrong. And every coach, in a lot of cases, is special to everybody. But what Bob Green brought to this place, and the luck we had to get to play for him, is just, it's almost unspeakable. I mean, you can't, there's nobody that can repeat that experience of getting to play this game for that guy. He was so fun, and he was so smart. Go ahead, Jake.
No, I can't emphasize enough the same as Ron. In fact, I'll say on behalf of so many players I know, and I'm at the top of this list, Bob Green is without question one of the most influential people in my life.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be where I'm at today without Bob Green.
And how many people can say that? I mean, there are so many people that have that exact same feeling because he makes you feel like you're the most important person in the world. Like you walk through the tailgate and things that he remembers, and it's not BS. It's actually he remembers plays. He remembers your family's birthdays. He remembers everything about you and everybody that ever played for him.
And you were always 10 times better than you ever were in his eyes, and it was the greatest.
Yeah.
We knew he was full of it sometimes, but God, what a great guy to have in your corner.
Eric Jacobson, thank you.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Paul.
your time, my friend.
Thank you, Ron.
So the dig straight up the gut, and they'll get out to the 35-yard line. Again, Eric Jacobson joining us, a Montana Tech Hall of Famer, 92 Frontier Conference MVP. And the sun is setting, and we're having trouble here. A gain of 8 on the ground. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 2. Nice rush on 1st down for the Digs, Haskett.
Yeah, nice pickup. 8 yards. It's probably the best 1st down run Montana Tech's seen so far today.
2nd down and 2 here for the Digs. Out of the shotgun. Handoff going to go to the tailback again. Blake Counts gets hit from behind, and that's going to give him 1st down yardage. He was stalled out, and then a defender came around the edge and shoved him from the backside. And it looked like that was Daxon Graham. And that will move the chains for the Digs as they start marching down the field here, trailing by 4. Carroll jumped out and scored on their first 2 possessions. They led 14-0. And Tech has whittled away. Their defense has really stood strong here over the back 2nd quarter and thus far here in the 3rd. Man in motion. Wyatt Alexander. They fake the fly motion. Handoff to Counts. Great block, and Blake Counts hurdles down to the 20. A gain of 12 for Blake Counts.
Yeah, a good piece of play action, a little deception, bringing Alexander, the fake fly motion coming across the set, and just a handoff on the inside running play to Blake Counts, and he saw daylight.
Fresh set of downs just outside of the red zone. Out of the shotgun, Counts going to get it. Counts head down, and he'll fight his way to the 17-yard line. So Blake Counts gets him inside the Case IH red zone, and we'll see if they can get points out here.
Trying to do it all on the ground here.
That's it.
So far since they've gotten the ball. Seeing something they absolutely like. There's no question about that.
So out of the shotgun. Well, let's see what we get here. 2nd down and 8. Thielen walks up to the line of scrimmage. Now he'll back out.
They got 3 wideouts in the game now. They got Alexander here by himself to the boundary.
1 receiver left, 2 to the right. Winterburn in the backfield. Caleb Winterburn. 3-step drop by Thielen. Has time. Rifle shot. Pass complete. Logan Kennedy back into the ball game, ladies and gentlemen. And the tight end hauls in the catch, and that's going to be 1st down yardage just outside the 10-yard line. Again, in the Case IH red zone here as the Digs looking to possibly take their first lead.
Good passing attacks, top to bottom. High school, college, and in the NFL. Just work a tight end. Between linebackers there, drop routes. So we used to call them drop routes, choice routes, option routes. That time Kennedy sat still in zone coverage and just waited for a delivery.
1st down and 10. Handoff to Winterburn. Winterburn finds a lane. Winterburn chugs his way down to the 7-yard line. Boy, that was a good vision by Caleb Winterburn that time. It looked like he was going to go to the edge and then decided to take it up right off the tackle.
He found something there that we couldn't see from up here. It looked like a wall, but he got skinny. He, he got his shoulders lateral and got through a little gap and picked up some yards.
3 words that have never been said with us. He got skinny. 2nd down and 5. Split backs. Out of the shotgun, snap a little low. Thielen picks it up, it slides, and he'll go down at the 13-yard line. Boy, there is a huge pile there at the 10-yard line. Hopefully everybody gets up all right, and they do, so that's good to see. Bring up long 3rd down here.
Couple struggles with the shotgun snap here today for Montana Tech at real untimely, situations, and that was one of them.
8 minutes left to play here in the 3rd quarter. As the Digs just outside the 10-yard line. They're in the Case IH red zone.
Boy, I'd like to see him take Thielen. I have a sense they're going to maybe try and roll him out here, but I'd like a straight drop back, spread him out 54 wide, and see if you can't find someone crossing the, between the hash marks.
Play clock down to
skinny
2,
post, maybe.
And they're going to have to take a timeout. Sorry, Haskett. I'm sitting here watching. They were looking at the sideline for a play call, and they couldn't make a decision. They wanted to change it
Montana
up. They're forced
Tech.
to call a timeout.
That's their first charge timeout of the half.
So trailing by 4. And we'll see what they get drawn up here. 7:37 left to play here in this 3rd quarter. Yeah, I saw that. Sorry.
Media timeout.
And it looks like we're going to get a timeout on the field. So with that, we'll take one as well. As a Frontier Conference action here with Digger Vision, Montana Tech Athletics. We are back here right after this.
Check, check, check. Still got me.
Okay, we're back here once again as the Digs up to the line of scrimmage. Out of the shotgun, Thielen. Thielen in the pocket, airs it up. Pass is knocked down. Good coverage that time. Back by the safety. They were looking for Levi Torgerson across the baseline. And that one will be knocked down, incomplete.
Yeah, they went man under 2 deep that time. Helped those corners out with the likes of Alexander and Jordan Jackson. And that was safety Tug Smith getting across. And getting a hand on that ball as they tried to get Torgerson on the crossing route.
So that will bring up 4th down, and Montana Tech will look to bring them within 3. They'll spot it at the 19-yard line, a 29-yard attempt as the Digs. Lowry will look for the 3 points. He'll pound it, goes over the fence and out with 3 points going on the board. So Lowry 2 of 2 special teams here tonight. And Montana Tech within 1. Carroll College leading 14-13 in a packed house here at Alumni Coliseum. So a 1-point lead here for the Saints. Real quickly, number-wise, as we take a look, Perka right now, 12 of 22 for 120 yards. Remember, those numbers were almost at that point at the end of the first quarter.
Right, yeah.
On the other side for Montana Tech, Blake Thielen, 9 of 17 for 164 yards and 1 touchdown. Duncan Kraft, 16 carries, 66 yards for the Saints. Montana Tech's Blake Counts, 9 carries for 38. Winterburn has 2 carries for 13. Ackelson has 3 catches for 42. Ochoa at tight end, 4 catches for 36.
Huge defensive save there by that Carroll defense. They took advantage of a fumbled or a bad shotgun snap there, but for them to hold, because Montana Tech had done most of their damage on that drive just on the ground. And for Carroll to dig in and hold Montana Tech to a field goal and maintain the lead is huge.
On the receiving side for Montana Tech, Jordan Jackson, 4 catches, 73 yards. Wyatt Alexander, 2 catches for 70 and a score. Logan Kennedy, 2 catches for 16. And again, great to see Logan back in here in the second half.
Right.
After we had no idea what his health status was going into the locker room.
So he must have been fine on concussion protocol. He must have had maybe a stinger or something in his neck or shoulders.
So the kick is away. Low line drive. And it will go out of the back of the end zone again. So again, just another weapon that probably doesn't get the credit it deserves. When you take a return man out of the equation, that is it's awful nice.
Yeah, he meets it well. I love to watch him kick that football.
I am so excited to see if anybody was able to count in attendance. Like, I want to see what our attendance is here tonight. This place is just crazy with the amount of people.
Yeah, they're all over the hillsides, in the end zones. I mean, the Torgerson tailgate area is packed.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of people. Look at that tailgate out there, especially row D here.
Dropping back, Perka. He's going left, one-on-one downfield. That one goes up and is not clean. Sanchez out in coverage. Angel Sanchez at corner.
Yeah, credit Angel Sanchez because they really haven't gone his way today.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be easy for him to not get lulled to sleep. I mean, I'm not going to say he's a professional, but as far as a college football player, he's a professional. Maintained his assignment, was step by step, and you know, the little bit of hand combat going on there, but he was in position A.
And he has played pretty much every position there in that secondary, whether it's safety, nickel, or at corner, and mainly corner this year. Second down at 10, Perka looks like he's going to change the play. Trips receivers to the wide side, 1 back at home. Tech puts 3 down, and looks like pressure coming as it comes hard. Perka swings it out, screen, knocked down. What a play, knocking down the screen. Matt Whitcomb at linebacker gets through 2 blockers, and Whitcomb puts him on the turf.
Not a fair fight. I mean, Cameron Rothy's got the lead block on Whitcomb there. Whitcomb just blew right through Cameron Rothy, you know, as far as the lead block on the bubble screen. And he saw it the whole way. It was absolutely timed perfectly.
3rd down and 12 here for the Saints. Crowd getting loud here in the Mining City. The 127th meeting between these two programs. Montana Tech won a year ago. The Digs lead the last 10, 6 wins to 4 losses. Perka, 1 back. Blitz coming. Perka steps up. He gets away from 1, but not the rest.
Yeah, they've got Perka pretty uncomfortable right now. They just do. There wasn't a lot there to panic about, but Perka's eyes came down. He left the coverage and was looking for a place to run. And a good job of Montana Tech getting upfield and getting the pressure, but flattening out for when he went to escape up the middle, able to rally and make the tackle. Go ahead.
Into the waiting arms of Gabe Zanetti, and Zanetti takes him down quickly.
Think he got a little sweat on him?
Oh, my goodness. 4th down and long. Torgerson replay. Thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night with some Frontier teams in action last week. A really wide shield here getting set up to punt this one away. And Tech gets pressure.
Got a piece.
And they got must say he got a piece of the ball because they did not throw a penalty flag.
Well, the punter never did go down. Maybe they didn't hit him. It looked like they were going to hit him.
Yeah.
But he never went to the ground.
Carroll coaching staff is out there getting after the official.
Look at that. I think the coach is yelling at him to do a Oscar-nominated acting job.
It's a fine point.
Thank you.
Hopefully Batto noted that on the paper that I complimented Ron Haskett. 5:44 left to play here in the 3rd. Paul Panisco, Ron Haskett, Digger Vision on Thursday night. As Tech and Carroll. Carroll, number 15 in the country. Montana Tech, number 16 in the country. This game means a lot. We've been around the Frontier long enough to know what it means, like what it means to try and climb up that top 25 list, and it's hard. So whoever wins this is going to put themselves in good position moving forward. 1st down and 10 out of the shotgun, handoff to Counts. He has a lead blocker. Smith out in front of him, I believe, and Counts back to the line of scrimmage and no more. If you get a chance, Lander Smith, when we do the when we go through the starters for Montana Tech, pay attention to the video of Lander Smith. Lander Smith has the coolest helmet. It was given to him by his dad, who is a copper miner that is in South America. And it's this like hand-tooled copper helmet that is just an absolute thing of beauty. It is the coolest thing. 2nd down and 9, 3 receivers. Alexander in motion. Thielen out of the shotgun. 3-man rush. Thielen downfield. Pass caught. Wyatt Alexander. Alexander gets free. He's down to the 35, a gain of 14.
There you go. You got a Carroll defender down, trying to make the tackle there. It looks like he's in some pain. I don't know if he hurt maybe an arm, a wrist, shoulder.
He's able to get off to the sideline. 1st down and 10, Montana Tech. Let's take a look at team numbers here. I haven't looked at those for a moment.
It isn't to second guess or anything like that, but you know, watch Wyatt Alexander. Okay, we're fairly late in the football game. That kind of energy, that kind of wherewithal to catch and get into his move and beat a tackler yards after catch. Wouldn't you think you'd give him that chance 15 times a game?
Yep.
Please reset.
Because he is exciting.
To
when
4 minutes
gets to picking him up and putting him down, he is
4,
an exciting football player.
And I'll tell you, there are a lot of people. I mean, when you know Mark Estes gets hurt, and how long he's out, anything like that, we don't know. You know, we're not gonna know. But when Mark Estes is removed from the equation for Montana Tech's receiving room, I think a lot of people went, wow, it's going to hurt. And of course it's going to hurt. But the depth they still have at receiver is really good. I mean, you look at Wyatt Alexander, you look at Jordan Jackson, you look at our new guy in Dylan Snyder, who the Butte, Montana legend. You've got Levi Torgerson, who's like, you know what, I'm going to play football this year. This receiving room is still incredibly deep and very, very talented, and we're seeing that here tonight.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, they haven't put anything on the turf. Anything that's got near them, they've hauled in.
Yeah, and I think Tech would be, you know, maybe better served to start seeing some of them bodies in and out of here for a play or two.
Okay.
You know, and where I look is in the backfield. I love Blake Counts. Don't get me wrong, but I think they would serve themselves better to give that defense a second look. Maybe a Christian Vetter or I don't know if Renner's 100% yet, but they've got good quality backs behind him to give him a break.
First down and 10. Out of the shotgun, Blake Thielen. 4-man pressure. Thielen wants to throw. He's going to air it up. Deep ball into double coverage in the end zone. He's hauled to the ground. That's going to be pass interference.
That's PI. You bet it is. I think Alexander had a good shot at that ball. I think he brings it in.
And I think that's, on the other side of that, I think that's a good penalty.
Yeah.
I think the corner, we'll see it here on the replay with Torgerson. That ball goes in the air, and I think the DB realizes he lost the angle, and he grabbed on. So that's going to be first down yardage here for the Digs, trailing by 1. 4:32 left to play here in this third quarter. It was all Carroll College the first quarter. And Montana Tech has got their balance, and they are making some moves as this football game continues.
I think you stay aggressive here. They're in tight. You'd think they might come back to a run, but I think you stay aggressive and throw the football.
One back, they fake the sweep motion, handoff, and picked up and put down as Blake counts. He'll get 2. They fake the fly sweep. We have not seen the fly sweep handoff go yet. We'll see if they've obviously faked to it several times. We'll see if they hand it off anytime soon. That obviously was a big one. When we talk about Mark Estes, that was Mark Estes' game right there.
Yeah, and it was probably Alexander's. One of his 2 best plays last year was the end around late in the season. I can't remember who it was against, but he took that thing, turned the corner, and it was all over.
Second down and 8. Montana Tech has run 34 offensive plays for 226 yards. Thielen. 3-man pressure. Thielen going to step up, pump fake, fires. The ball is bobbled and dropped. Bobbled and dropped that time, looking for his tight end. And that one just unable to hold on to it that time was Logan Kennedy. And that's going to bring up third down here for the Digs.
Kennedy's got to make that catch. He makes a lot of tough catches, and it just seems like, it almost seems like, every game where he's targeted a few times, there's always one there you kind of scratch your head and say, Logan, you got to make that catch, but you forget about some of the tough catches he makes as well. So,
third down and 8. Carroll's defense has done a nice job keeping Montana Tech out of the end zone a couple times. They're just outside the 20-yard line. Knocking on the door of that Case IH red zone. Thielen dropping back. He's going to air it up to the end zone. Has this man just overthrown. Jordan Jackson just over the outstretched fingertips. That's going to bring up fourth down. And Lowry will get a shot at his 3rd field goal here today.
Yeah, they had it. He had a step on Graham out there. It looked like they were man under and a little safety help, at least to the boundary side here, and just a little bit of an overthrow.
Lowry 2 for 2 in field goals so far today. This one will be a 32-yard attempt at the right hash mark. Frontier Conference first team last year. And the Digs trailing by 1. Carroll's defense has done a nice job when they've gotten tight. Lowry, again, gives it just a ton of leg. And that one is going to miss wide right. So Carroll will hold on to a 1-point lead. 3:35 left to play here in this third quarter. And that's some life there for Carroll. They needed some, as Montana Tech had really grabbed a lot of the momentum there, and Carroll will stay up by a point. So Carroll College, Perka will come back out. They've run 47 offensive plays for 199 yards.
A couple big plays on that series. Carroll comes out of there, with no points given up. It's a big letdown for that Montana Tech offense.
1st and 10, Saints. Montana Tech was getting to Perka there as this third quarter has gone on. We'll see if that's going to continue to be the case. Tight end goes in motion. Ochoa out of the shotgun. Handoff going to go to the tailback. Trying to turn the corner across the 25 out to the 30. And hauled out of bounds at the 34-yard line. But a nice run that time, as that one is going to go to Tuggle. And Tuggle will move the chains. Tuggle, let me look here. I think 3rd, 4th carry maybe.
Stretch play. Montana Tech contained it. They just didn't get any lateral pursuit down the line of scrimmage, out of the linebacker play. And it's a credit to Carroll. They got guys on the zone, the outside zone, on their feet and into the next level.
1st down and 10 here for the Saints. 1 back, 3 receivers. Tech, 3 guys in the front. Here comes 5. Play action. Perka rolls out, drops it off to Ochoa. Ochoa across the 35, leaning towards that pylon. He's going to be shy of the first down marker, but another good gain here for the Saints. As let's see when they stretch the chains again. That'll be second down at about 3, maybe 4 here for Carroll.
Been a successful play for Carroll, just leaking Ochoa. I think he's just down blocking or block setting and then releasing to the flat. And Montana Tech's gotten away from him a couple times, and Perk has found him open.
2nd and 4, handoff to the tailback, and Kraft is upended. That's a gain of 1. Bring up 3rd down and 3. 2:28 left to play here in the 3rd.
Big play here, 3rd and 2.
Montana Tech, number 3 in the nation for attendance a year ago. They led the nation the year before COVID. And with this as your starting point, you're going to be back on top of the pile here after week 1. What do you think? What is your guess for attendance, including who was out in the tailgate?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's got to be close to 8, doesn't it?
I'm thinking that's where we're at. 7, high 7s, 8,000 people here. An incredible night in Butte, and just couldn't ask for better weather. 3rd down and short. Perka, play action, going to throw it. Goes out on the left side, pass complete. Shoved out of bounds at the 47-yard line, but that's going to move the chains, a gain of 6 for the Saints of Carroll College.
Yeah, they've go back to our keys to the game. One of them is use your tight end if you're Carroll College offensively, and they have a lot here today, and it's been really successful.
This is really their first significant drive, it feels like, in a while. Kind of got their swagger back a little bit, if you will, as they come up to the line of scrimmage. 3 receivers right, 1 back. 1st down and 10 here for the Saints. Perka hands it off, and a nice seam across midfield to the Montana Tech 49. That's, again, a gain of 5. I would love to see, we can sit here and look at the rushing yards and everything else, but I would love to see Carroll's rushing yards on 1st down.
Yeah.
I mean, they have to be averaging 5 yards a carry on 1st down.
They've seen 2nd and 5 or 2nd and 4 1,000 times today.
That'll bring up 2nd down and 5 here for Carroll. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Out of the shotgun is going to be Perka. Perka hands it off, and the tailback breaks free. Out on the left side across the 30, 25, cut back down to the 23-yard line. And I believe it's Tuggle.
Yeah, it's definitely a 2-number number.
I do believe that is Tuggle out there with the carry. And that's going to bring up 1st and 10 here for the Saints at the Montana Tech 24-yard line. So another nice run for him. Carroll College is knocking on the door here. They lead by 1. 1 back, 3 receivers. Tech brings 5 to the defensive front. Blitz coming. Out of the shotgun, handoff. Kraft, and he is driven into the ground at the 25-yard line by Wyant. Cole Wyant is there to clean him up. That goes nowhere.
Yeah, Montana Tech is starting to ignore the quarterback after the handoff. I'd look for Carroll to maybe pull it on one of these inside zone and outside zone handoffs and see what Perka can do with the football.
And it looks like we have the 3rd quarter behind us. A 1-point ball game. The Saints of Carroll College leading Montana Tech 14-13. We're here with Digger Vision. It's Rocky Mountain Credit Union Copper Night, ladies and gentlemen. We're back here right after this.
Check.
Welcome back here once again as we are at Alumni Coliseum, and the Digs trailing by 1. Carroll College 2nd and 10 as we get the fourth quarter underway. We had a Hall of Famer in Eric Jacobson joining us in the third quarter, and now we have a guy that is on the clock for the final day in his career in the Frontier Conference. Commissioner Kent Paulson is joining us in the booth. We'll chat with him as we go. Commish, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Paul. Doing great. Absolutely.
What do we got going? There we go. Hold on. Let me try and get you rolling here. So,
hey, doing great, Paul. Great to be up here. Great to be in Butte, America. And what a night. Would we expect anything different? 14-13.
Come on up, Haskett.
Yeah. Bring the real team in here.
Second down and 10 here for the Saints. The Commish's final day after 14 years serving our Frontier Conference. Second and 10, Perka moves his tail back to the right side. 3 receivers left. Perka looking right the whole way, checks it off, crossing route through the middle, caught across the 15, out of bounds near the 10-yard line. So Carroll's momentum continues. That's going to move the chains, bring up first and goal just inside the 10.
Carroll's getting back to exactly what led them to 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. Crossing routes, inside zone, tight end delay to the flat. And it's just been like clockwork. And, they're back at, the same old tricks.
2 receivers left. A tight end released on the right side. Perka out of the shotgun. Perka fakes the handoff. Perka in trouble. He gets away. He's going to run. Perka cuts it at the 5, heads in, and Perka gets in for the score.
That's what I'm talking about. And I'm not trying to be critical of Blake Thielen, but those kind of plays, he had every chance to lay down and take a slide there. But he made a play. He made a cut, and saw daylight and found the end zone. Sometimes you just got to go after it. You're going to risk a hit. You're going to risk a lot of things, but he risked it there, made a couple cuts, scored the touchdown.
Well, as the commissioner's here, first I'm going to be really selfish and say thank you for everything you've done for me for 14 years, my friend.
Oh, you bet, Paul. It's my pleasure, and you're the kind of guy that it's easy to do. Thank you for everything that you've done. We certainly are happy that you're back at Montana Tech and you're back behind the mic. Not that you ever left, but it's just great to have you on the team. And you're on the Frontier Conference team now.
Yeah, we continually talk about it. I mean, our conference is a family. And you were the head of household for 14 years, my friend, and you did an awful lot of good in this conference. What were when you think about your time, what are some of the things that you're really proud of as far as where this conference is right now?
Well, I think top of the list is I believe we've elevated the student-athlete experience. I really do. Our championships, we've always had great support, but I think the fan support has certainly increased. I look at this crowd tonight. I mean, there isn't a seat in the grandstands that's not filled. People all around the fence, up on the berms. And this is non-conference.
There you go.
I was telling somebody earlier, I can remember my first meeting where Coach Petrino and Coach Green were still in the football ranks, and somebody suggested we have non-conference, and those 2 guys said, "Are you kidding? It's like kissing your sister. We're not playing any non-conference. Nobody will show up." And I looked across tonight, and there isn't a seat available. Yeah.
And that's amazing, just the size of crowd here and the way we have gone. Kickoff to the 10-yard line. The Digs right up the middle. Torgerson bounces left, and he'll be hauled down at the 27-yard line. A flag from way back will stroll in, and we'll see where this ends up.
Probably going to be a block in the back or a hold.
As you look at the footing you built here in this conference and moving the conference continually forward, what do you think our next steps are as a conference?
Well, what I was visiting with Les and John earlier, Les Cook and John Seck earlier, and we're just poised. I mean, the groundwork has been laid. We've met countless times. Everybody knows the game plan. And for once, Paul, we've got people
unsportsmanlike conduct,
it isn't us
illegal wedge block, 91 and 59 of the return team. Half the distance from the spot of the foul, first down.
Being with 6 teams is just perilous. And we actually, if everything fell right, Paul, in a matter of a few years, very few, we could have 12 full-time schools and 16 football schools.
That's incredible.
We'd be like Big 10 and the Big 12. We have to rename ourselves, right?
Yeah, there you go.
But it's just, we've always been known as a strong conference, and And I really believe now that the way things have shaped up, that we're going to continue to grow.
Thielen will take it out of the shotgun here for the Digs. Thielen, one back at home, one step, rips it to his left side, pass complete to Alexander. Wyatt Alexander is to the 23-yard line. He'll be taken down just shy of the marker, a gain of 9. Well, again, I just can't thank you enough. I mean, obviously, Haskett and I have been lucky enough to call games through the Frontier through your entire tenure. You have been nothing but great to us in a personal capacity. I think you have worked your tail off for our conference and put us at the level, like I say, the student athletes first, and it shows. You look at the national rankings from our campus and all the campuses in the Frontier Conference.
You know, and that would also be on that list.
Thielen, handoff, will give it off to Winterburn. Winterburn across the 30 out to the 32.
Like I told Paul earlier, you can see that, you know, the clear reflection in your face on these schools that are really into the full college experience. You know, they understand sports is part of the college experience for a lot of people, and you really could tell how you would gravitate. You know, I'm not going to say any school more than the other, but certainly appreciative of what Tech and Carroll have brought to the table as far as game day atmosphere. And you're starting to see it at Western, starting to see it at Rocky, so on and so forth.
Pump fake down to Torgerson. Torgerson across midfield to the 49-yard line of Carroll College.
You know, Ron, Paul, you hit it on the head. You know, we're going to have every school after, well, starting next year, we'll have all-weather surface. They'll have, some of them will have lights, and you know, just the fan experience. And I've just got to work with some amazing athletic directors and presidents. That's also on the list.
One back at home here for Blake Thielen. Montana Tech with some momentum. Handoff going to go to Winterburn again. Winterburn leans forward, gets 2.
I have to tell you, Paul, I listened to yours and Foley's. I listened to your podcast the other night.
Yes.
My wife says, "What are you listening to?" And I said, "Oh, this is too good. I'm staying up. I'm listening to this one." But I'm a little disappointed that you didn't mention me at Garrison with snow.
I should have.
I had to make that list, didn't I?
You had to have. I mean, the commish was coming to talk to us on overtime and braved like an awful snowstorm and got to Garrison and finally went, you know what, like the highway's closed. I got to turn around. Thielen back screen, gets it out to Jackson. Jackson stiff arm, he's out to the 40-yard line. You know, well, again, it goes to say how much you have done for me personally, and that's just one piece of this puzzle. I mean, you've done that for everybody in this conference, and we're all better because of it.
Trying to see if Jackson got a good spot here, Paul.
So take a look at the Torgerson replay here. Torgerson gets that screen.
Yeah, I don't like the spot. I mean, I think they cheated him out of at least a yard, didn't they?
Certainly feels that way.
I shouldn't call them cheaters, but
that's what they asked me what was going to be different with me now. I'm sitting in the stands, and I said, well, the only thing that's different is they're going to hear from Freeze.
Ball came out. Ball is loose. Our first turnover, and Carroll claiming they have that football. And we'll see as they clear the pile. No signal from anybody in stripes yet. And it looks like they're saying he's down. Nope. Stan, there we go. The white hat comes out. That's Carroll football. So the Carroll sideline erupts as they will get the football, and they'll take over near their 40-yard line, leading by 1 with 11 minutes, or excuse me, leading by 8 with 11 minutes left to play here in this football game. Well, and the other part of this cog we certainly have to mention as well is Wally Felt. You know, Wally Felt, his final day today as well. And you two were certainly a tandem that did awfully good things for us, and I can't wait to continue to harass Wally. But Wally was a fixture for this conference through those years.
He sure was, and we went to college together. We were college mates way back in the late '60s, early '70s, and for me to get a chance to work with Wally again was real special.
Perka, 3 receivers. Here comes the blitz. Hand off to the tailback. He gets through the first level across the 40 to the 42. Well, Commish, thank you again for everything you've done. I certainly look forward to seeing you in the stands as a fan because I know that it's in your blood and that's who you are. But thank you from the Frontier Conference family and everything you've done.
Appreciate that, Paul. And we've got a couple games that I know we're still going to go to. I promised the Arizona Christian people that I'd see a game down there before I stepped away, and so we're going to fly down and watch them play here in a couple of weeks.
And I was going to say late in the season.
No, it'll be a cool 1:15. You know.
Third down and 8. Pass downfield complete. And a nice little move after the fact. And with the catch there for Carroll College is going to be Ackleshin. And Ackleshin going to move the chains here for the Saints, leading 21-13.
How many catches does Ackleshin have?
Let me see what we have here for Ackleshin thus far. Ackleshin is listed. That will be his 6th reception. 6 receptions, about 70 yards receiving here today on the day. Carroll up to the line of scrimmage. Well, we'll let you continue to be a fan, but I just want to shake your hand and say thank you.
Thank you, Paul. I really appreciate it.
Commissioner Kent Paulson, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure to call him with any requests here for the next few hours while he's still on the job.
If you're mad at the referees, call Neil.
So as we get rolling here, handoff going not much of anywhere. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 10 here for the Saints.
Fitzpatrick, J.P. Fitzpatrick's down. Tendon to his lower right leg, it looks like.
9:36 left to play here. 1 turnover, that coming on the last possession. And the Digger D, these sudden changes are also, you know, they're a big factor all season long, but especially really early in the season when you need to be able to center yourself and refocus. This is a real gut check here for the Digger D to try and get a stop.
Well, it's a tough thing to practice for.
Media,
something that isn't
timeout.
Right? And so, yeah, I mean, tough break. Winterburn's in there at tailback. I don't know if Counts is banged up or if they were just giving Winterburn a series there at tailback.
And it looks like we have a timeout on the field, ladies and gentlemen. So with that, we'll take one. Carroll leading 21-13, 9:36 left to play here in this ball game. With the timeout, we'll take one. We're back to Alumni right after this. We're back here once again. Carroll College out of the shotgun. Perka dropping back. Perka in trouble. He's able to get rid of it as he gets plastered. As we came back, you're able to see the orphan girl head frame that the mining departments. One more time? Okay, the World Museum of Mining actually lit. You see the Montana Tech logo on the orphan girl head frame. So hats off. We've got it on the jumbo right now as well.
Looks very nice.
How cool is that? The World Museum of Mining has done some incredibly cool stuff through the years. That's one of those, if you haven't been back in years, go check it out. Go with an old timer that worked in the mines. That's one of my growing up memories, is going with my grandpa and him explaining everything to me.
Okay, you got to watch Akolshin here, crossing routes.
3rd and 10, blitz coming, picked up well. Perka doesn't see it. Sanchez lays him out. Boy, I thought they had the blitz completely shut off, and Angel Sanchez just blindsides him.
Yeah, they took a chance. Perka, you know, he had to be good man coverage downfield. I was watching the pass rush, but Perka got to look at 2 receivers, was trying to come back to number 3, and Sanchez was on him.
So that will bring up 4th down and long. 8:50 left to play here in the ball game. Tech trailing by 8. So the punting unit is in here for the Saints. Remember, Montana Tech kind of got a piece of the last one. They're running a really wide shield, and the punt is away. Good one. Return stepped away from, takes a huge Carroll bounce, and they'll down it at the 2. Wyatt Alexander stepped away from that football, and Carroll will get the football down to the 2-yard line.
Got to field that punt. You got to field that punt. You just have to.
Boy, all the momentum from the huge sack just taken away. 8:28 remaining here in the ball game. Stats here real quickly. Perka, 17 of 29 for 151 yards. Duncan Kraft, 16 carries, 66 yards. Tuggle has 6 carries for 48. Let's see, Ackelson, 6 catches for 61 yards. And Carson Ochoa, the big tight end, 6 catches, 48 yards. On the other side for Montana Tech, Blake Thielen, 13 to 23 for 211 and a score. Blake Counts, 11 carries for 41. Caleb Winterburn, 5 for 23.
And Carroll's been giving them a headache just with a 4-man surface here, so they can sit back in coverage.
One back, Thielen, blitz coming. He's going to air it up downfield, has a man, caught Wyatt Alexander. Alexander out of bounds at the 40. A 38-yard reception. Wyatt Alexander, 5 catches for 130 yards today and 1 touchdown.
Yeah, he's got to keep going at him.
Torgerson replay on it. So Montana Tech going to keep rolling here. I love, Brian Larson chiming in. We've got a bunch of great listeners, not only locally from around the country. Love hearing from them. Our family getting together here in Butte, Montana. First down at 10. 2 receivers right, 1 of the lefts. Thielen out of the shotgun. Handoff, going to go to Counts. Counts has a little room. Counts across the 40 out to the 44.
Little something there, but I just love to see them string together 2 aggressive pass plays. Just, take advantage of your advantage. I mean, I think you've got a big advantage in Wyatt Alexander. You just do. And sure, they're over-undering him, but when you see that, you've got a good option across the way with Torgerson essentially looking at man-on-man and Jordan Jackson man-on-man because they're paying a lot of attention. You can see down here to the boundary side to Wyatt Alexander.
2nd down and 4. And stepping up, Thielen. He'll drop it off to Alexander. Alexander spins, puts his head down, and gets to the 46-yard line. First down yardage, that's going to be a gain of 10. Alexander, 140 yards receiving today.
Yeah, take your time, get him his breath.
7 minutes left to play here in this ball game. Tech trailing by 8.
You're gaining an advantage with Alexander here. You're dictating what the defense has to do now. So you can start to call the shots offensively. And I'm not saying eliminate Counts in the backfield, but you're getting a lot of one-on-one coverage outside of Alexander.
First down and 10. Handoff is going to go to Counts. Counts has a lane. Counts bounces off one of his own guys. He's across the 40 to the 39, a gain of 9. Blake Counts, 13 carries, 56 yards. Montana Tech, let's take a look at the numbers here. 47 plays, 331 yards of total offense right now, but trailing by 8.
You got to go if you're Tech here. You can't, assume a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. You want the touchdown, but the 2-point conversion is no gimme.
2nd down and 2. They'll look to the sideline for the play call. As Blake Thielen, 15 to 25 on the day, 255 yards. Thielen hands it off to Counts. Counts tries to find some room, and boy, there's not much there. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
Yeah, tough to run wide. Short yardage is tough to run wide. Some of the most successful, you saw it on one of Carroll's touchdowns, where Kraft ran into the end zone in the first half. It just started his inside zone, and he bounced it out. The pile, there was a pile there inside, and then he bounced it out. But it's tough to stretch the field against short yardage defenses.
3rd down and 1. Split backs, real tight formation. Twin tight, 1 on each side. 1 receiver, snap is low. Thielen picks it up. Thielen gets hit, and he's going to go down behind the first down marker. That's going to bring up 4th down and 1.
Another bad snap.
And now Montana Tech set with a decision here.
They got to go. You got to go.
4th and 1. Ball at the Carroll 39-yard line. Trailing by 8 with 5 minutes, and Montana Tech's going to call a timeout. So with the timeout, it looks like we
Montana Tech.
Not going to take one.
That's their second charge timeout of the half.
Let's see here. The
media timeout.
So we are going to get a media timeout. Carroll College leading 21-13. 5 minutes left to play here in the Rocky Mountain Credit Union Copper game opening night for the Digs and the Saints. We're back to Alumni right after this. back out on the field. 4th down and 1. Montana Tech's offense stays out. Blake Thielen. Actually, we're going to have direct snap here as Counts is going to take the snap, it looks like.
Wildcat action.
There you go. In front of him is Lander Smith, the fullback. 1 step up, 1 step right. Blake Counts awaiting the snap. Counts gets it. Counts gets off the edge. Counts is gone. Counts 20, 15. Blake Counts to the end zone. Touchdown, Montana Tech, down by 2. Blake Counts pops it right, and Blake Counts takes it to the house.
Great vision. We're going to take that just off the left side. He saw a quick wind back and a seam, short yardage. I mean, all you got to do is break that line of scrimmage, and you're in business. And Counts off to the races.
So Blake Counts takes it to the house.
You don't get to see him open up and run very often.
I love it. So Montana Tech down by 2. And they will bring in the offensive unit and go over 2 here. 4:51 left to play in the ball game. Boy, what a night we have been presented with. We can't thank all of our guests enough. But what a football game here tonight. Number 15 in the country, Carroll College. Number 16 in the country, Montana Tech. The Digs will keep the Wildcat in again.
Going to get some motion here with the tight end.
Counts out of the shotgun. Counts going to go right. Counts looking for the pylon. Gets a block. Counts! And he looks short. And they do say short. From our angle, he looks short. We'll see what kind of replay angle we can get on it. Here we go. Take a look at the instant replay of Service Torgerson's going to the pylon, and he goes down in front of the pylon. Great play defensively by Carroll College, keeping him out of the end zone. Wow. 4:51 left to play here. Montana Tech trailing by 2.
I should know this. Were they in Wildcat again?
They were in Wildcat again. Yep. They were in Wildcat. Blake Counts kept it. They overloaded right. Actually, he had a good, clean block, but Carroll really stemmed down the line of scrimmage and used good speed to get bodies in front of him.
They contained it, and he turned it up like he should. And, yeah, they just got, guys scraping down the line of scrimmage. Lateral speed, staying down the line of scrimmage, and just, polishing off tackles.
Plenty of time left in this football game. The big one is Montana Tech only has 1 timeout remaining. So they need some defensive stops here, trailing by 2. Carroll College will get the football here. And you'd have to think you push it through the back of the end zone, make them start at the 25, and see if your defense can get a stop here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you try and kick it high and short and get a cover and even a better field position situation. I don't know, because they can fair catch that and take it at the 25 as well. So, yeah, I don't know. I think your safest bet maybe is just kick it out of the end zone.
Montana Tech, 50 plays, 370 yards. Carroll College, 60 plays for 280 yards here on the night. But the Saints leading by 2. Approaching. The kick is away. They'll pound it into the end zone, and they'll bring it out. Carroll College will bring the return out across the 20 with some daylight, across the 30, 35, and shoved out of bounds at the 41.
Ooh.
But a flag being thrown way back behind the play.
That's a 27-yard throw of the flag if you're keeping track at home.
That was an impressive throw. See if he has any eligibility left from our umpire.
Wow.
So what was more than
During
likely
the
a
return,
really nice return coming back.
Hold.
Looked like a long
Number
yard.
21 of the return team.
So a holding
10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
What would have been starting at their 40, the flag is resting at the 20, so this thing is going back a ways. A difference of 30 yards on that penalty.
Well, this will be at the 10-yard line.
And we'll see what Carroll brings out of the gate.
Got to dig in here. Most Carroll's passing success has been pretty safe passes, so I don't think they hesitate to throw the ball here to move the sticks. They've had enough success with the inside zone running attack to where they're comfortable there too. But, should they be in a situation where they have to throw? Perka hasn't had to throw it too far downfield to be successful.
First down and 10, Carroll College. Perka going to hand it off to his tailback, trying to find some room. He shoves his way out near the 14-yard line. As this one comes to a close, stay tuned with us as we'll have the Portal Run post game We'll run you through the numbers, and I'm going to run down and check in with Coach Kyle Sampson.
The what post game?
The Portal Rum post game.
Portal Rum?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Out of Kalispell, Montana. Big fans of Coach Sampson and great friends with the Sampson family.
Like, is that his rum as in a distillery rum?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice. I might have to go visit him next time I'm up there.
Second down and 7.
Mon.
Yeah, that was awful. Don't ever do that again.
Oh, well.
We'll give you the numbers. We'll have hopefully we'll have an interview with Coach Sampson at the end of the ball game as well. And straight up the middle, that's going to be first down yardage out to the 22-yard line. Big first down here for Carroll. Clock running.
Yeah, you got to go tight man assignment. Get more heads at the line of scrimmage here. If you're Montana Tech, you just their inside zones killed you all day. You just need another hat or two inside your defensive ends there to turn these 5-yard gains into 2-yard gains.
Carroll College going to eat as much clock as possible. 3:25 on the game clock. Play clock now down to 10, and they just break the huddle up to the line of scrimmage. Out of the shotgun, Perka, one back. And the handoff to the tailback again. Puts his head down and rifles his way out to the 25, a gain of 2, and again clock running. 3:10 left to play. Carroll leading by 2 here in Butte. The Digs won last year in Helena.
You got to hand it to McNeil going to the defensive side of the ball, from catching passes and just, returning punts and kicks to playing some safety. And he's had his hat in the mix quite a bit today, right at the line of scrimmage amongst the Giants.
And if I remember right, he played quarterback up in Kalispell. And I believe he was, I would assume he was double duty. I would assume he was a safety as well. Second down and 7. Out of the shotgun. Looking the whole way. Pass is bobbled and dropped. Good coverage that time out on the edge as Jaden Downs was there.
Yeah.
Boy, Perka eyed his receiver the whole way. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Well, Downs showed a little cushion, but he didn't bail out of there at the snap of the football. He sat pretty tight. It's almost like he could smell it. A little stop route or a 5-yard out, something like that.
Crowd getting loud here. Third down. Clock stops with the incompletion. 2:30 left to play in the ball game. Montana Tech needing a stop right here, trailing by 2.
Got to get the back out. Check the back out.
Third down and 7. Man in motion. Picked up. Split backs out of the shotgun. Pressure coming. Perka stands. Perka getting flushed out of the pocket. Still looking. Perka rolls out. Downfield. Pass. Boy, that's a heck of a catch. Out to the 34-yard line. That is a big-time catch, and I believe coming down with that was Jake Brown, the receiver.
I think it was Cameron Rothy.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Okay, my apologies.
Yeah, number 4, Cameron Rothy. That was a good catch. Good job by Perka, buying time, getting out of the pocket.
He was well covered. I mean, that was a well-covered throw.
They tried sneaking the split back on the right side. They tried sneaking him up the sideline on a wheel route. Montana Tech did a fantastic job of covering it. So he had to come to an alternate receiver on that play.
I'm just not sure Jaden Downs could have covered him any better. First down at 10, Carroll. $1:40 left to play. Montana Tech does have one timeout. Handoff across the 35 to the 36. And they will take their final timeout here. 1:35 remaining in the football game. Carroll
Timeout,
College
Montana
leads
Tech.
by 2.
That's their 3rd charge timeout of the half.
Go ahead and give me the math, Haskett.
I don't even attempt to do it. I let the more intelligent people.
We don't have one of those in the booth, though. No, Shannon's back in the booth.
You're usually pretty good at it. I don't even attempt. I don't know where it's at. I mean, I'm just assuming if all things stay the same, it's run. If they force them to punt, Montana Tech's going to get the ball with inside 30 seconds left. That's what I gauge. I don't know.
Yeah, boy, I think if just going to be a handful of seconds. As you figure 25 seconds will come off here for second down. That'll bring you to $1:10. They'll take a couple seconds to start the play clock. I don't think they can run it out, but there's just going to be very little time. Second down and 8 here for the Saints. A big game. Obviously, it's not a conference game, but certainly a big one in the Frontier Conference. The 127th meeting between these two. And the big one comes as far as the rankings. We continually talk about how easy it is to fall out of the top 25 and just how hard it is to climb into and climb up the top 25 list. And We'll see what happens after this one. Carroll, number 15 in the country. Montana Tech, number 16 in the country. Playing in front of the largest crowd in the country. 2nd down and 8. Out of the shotgun. Handoff to the tailback. Gets a gap across the 40, 45, out to the 48-yard line. That's going to move the chains, and that's going to be the ball game. I do not believe there is a chance now. So that will bring Carroll College. Classy. As the Saints up to the 49-yard line. And that will, they'll burn some time as they come into the huddle here. So again, make sure to stick with us. The Portal game, our Portal Run post game coming up.
What are they beating on next door?
I don't know, the desk, the wall, the glass, I don't know, all of it. Victory formation comes in for the Saints. 40-second clock starts. They'll have to do it one more time, and then this one will go into the record books. The Saints of Carroll College will get the win, and they'll start the season 1-0. Montana Tech will start the season off 0-1 here. Just an incredible night of football here at Alumni. Some huge swings.
Yeah,
I mean, that wasn't just by the guys in the booth next to us.
The overall picture, you know, it's another loss, right? You know how tough it is to make the playoffs if you get into that 2 and 3 loss situation at the end of the year, regardless if you're in a tough conference or not. But the silver lining is it is a non-conference game, so you go out and win the conference and you get the advancement.
The other silver lining of this is you get them again.
Right.
You get them in the first game of the year, and you get them in the last game of the year. These two teams will play in hell into the final game of the Frontier Conference season. And our final, 21-19. Carroll College will get the win. And thanks, Peachy. And just a tremendous night here tonight as the Saints will get the win. Let's give us your final thoughts, and then we'll go into the numbers here. And look to wrap this thing up.
Well, you know, hats off to Carroll. They came into a hostile environment and had a plan, and they, you know, by and large, they stuck to it. When they maybe got away from it a little bit, they were smart enough to get back to it. I'm talking inside zone, a little bit of stretch play, but inside zone, crossing routes, tight end in the flat, backs out of the backfield. Perka, they did a nice job, by and large, you know, a nice job of protecting Perka so he could get to number 2 and number 3 in that progression. And I thought Perka stepped up and played a really good football game, especially down the stretch here. When the pressure was on, he did a nice job of leading his team. But I think that the number one difference in this game that we didn't talk about for most of the game is the front play from Carroll College. Yep. They did a great job. They did a great job.
Thanks,
They had them in second and manageable all game long, and it gives you so many options as an offense, as a play caller. Confidence in your quarterback and backs in the backfield, that kind of thing. So, yeah, hats off to Carroll. Tech's got some things they're going to want to fix. I mean, they've clearly got some great athletes on this team. You know, Wyatt Alexander, they used him a lot tonight. They can use him more. Torgerson, they used, you know, a few spots here and there. They could use him more. I'm talking throwing the football. Blake Counts is going to have a target on his back. He just is, because not just because he's a good back, but people know what Montana Tech wants to do. They want to try and control the line of scrimmage and run the football with Blake Counts. So he's going to garner a lot of attention. They're going to garner a lot of attention. So they've got to get more confidence in their passing attack. You heard me mention a couple times, string together a couple passing plays in a row. You know, those kind of things. What does that do? Well, it's going to take a little pressure off Blake Counts, but it's going to give your quarterback more confidence too. You know, those kind of things. That's my opinion, but and that's how I would roll with it. Thielen throws a good football. He throws a good football.
Well, and we've got two good football teams, and these guys are going to get some things done this year. Individual numbers, actually team numbers real quickly. Carroll College, 69 offensive plays, 317 yards. Montana Tech ran 50 offensive plays for 370 yards. The big number still is third down efficiency. Carroll College was 10 of 15 on third downs. 67% for third downs. That's just an incredible number. Individually for Carroll, looks like as we look at Perka's numbers, 18 to 31 for 160 yards on the day. Rushing, Duncan Kraft, 20 carries for 92 yards. Baxter Tuggle, 7 carries for 52. Ackelson receiving 6 catches. On the other side for Montana Tech, Blake Thielen, 15 to 25 for 255 yards and a score. Blake Counts, 15 carries for 95 yards. Caleb Winterburn, 5 carries for 23. Wyatt Alexander, 6 catches, 136 yards and a score. Jordan Jackson, 5 catches for 78, and Levi Torgerson, 2 for 25 on the day. Carroll College with a 21-19 win. We're in the Portal Run post game, Haskey, as the team's huddling it up, chatting it over. When they break huddle, I'm going to try and get to the field. We'll see if that happens, and hopefully we'll be able to bring you a chat with head coach Kyle Sampson, and we'll see, get his feelings on tonight. Obviously, a lot of emotion, big swings in momentum and emotion in this ball game here tonight.
Yeah, it was fans were treated to a good close game,
yeah,
right?
Very much so.
Some good big plays. I just, it's frustrating. You get frustrated. There's nothing worse than watching your team lose a close game. I think there's a lot of things that Montana Tech saw tonight that they can build on and make themselves a lot better football team as well. So.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to see out of these programs. So as they break the huddle here, why don't we do this? We'll take a break. We are in the Portal Run post game, Montana Tech football here with Digger Athletics. I'm going to try and get down to the field and track down Coach Kyle Sampson, and we'll check in just a few. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back in just a bit.
Good hustle.
Hey, we're back here once again. we got the camera set up. We couldn't get the microphone to work with Coach Kyle Sampson. And I will say, in his defense, 100%, he was willing to do it.
Right.
In a situation where no coach is going to want to talk right there.
I only know one that would.
Yeah.
Green always faced the music.
Always. Yeah, it's just a tough loss here tonight. But like I say, week one, you've got a lot to build on. Got a lot to move forward.
Yeah, I mean, you can't let it get you down. It was a close game against a good team, right? You step back and look at it. You lost to the number 15 team in the country. They came into your house and beat you. But it wasn't a fluke. You know, today it was a closely fought game, but Carroll looked like the better team for 4 quarters. Tech did some great things. But, Carroll, other than kind of getting away from what was successful for them early, but they were smart enough to get back to it. And, hats off to, a guy who had a great game. We didn't talk about that much was Duncan Kraft.
Yeah.
Back there, and a lot of that credit goes to his old front, right? Yep. They did an outstanding job, but Kraft was tough too.